What's good, y'all? This your girl Champagne with another edition of Ms.Champagne Evolution Podcast. Today, we got one of my favorite MCs from Cellar Dwellers. And I know you can't wait to see this and hear this. Man, I knew this guy for a while. I just love his flow. One of his favorite songs was Perfect Match. And, I just loved him. That time in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, and in hip hop, it was just a great era. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna waste any time jibber jabbing. I just want to let everybody know where you can see this. You could catch us right now live on YouTube, uh, Facebook, and Instagram. In September, I'm gonna have 8 live simultaneous. We're gonna be able to watch at least 8 different places: Twitch, Twitter, everything. X, everything. I have a lineup that's gonna be crazy. Right now, though, you could go on YouTube, put up Miss Champagne Evolution, boom, it'll pop up. You could go to Facebook and join or follow Miss Champagne Evolution, boom, you can see us right now. And you can go to Instagram right now and click on the red dot or the profile picture, boom, and you can watch us live. And that's what I'm saying. This is what we do, and I need you to be a part of it because I want the legends to be treated greatly. You know what I mean? We all been in music for a long time, and I see other people all over the world getting their shine. It's time to let people know you got to know where you come from to know where you're going. Without further ado, I'm gonna bring one of my favorite MCs up to the stage. So we don't waste no time talking. We just gonna hang out, y'all. Yeah. What's up? What's up, my man? Phantasm, Cellar Dweller.
Salute, salute, everybody. What's going on? What's going on?
Man, I couldn't wait to get you up here. I'm always bugging you, and you always gracious to me because it's just about business, trying to keep hip hop alive the way we do it. So,
For sure.
what's been going on with you before we get into all the questioning?
Same old, just maintaining, you know what I mean? Trying to hold down the fort, trying to keep this hip hop thing alive. Me
Uh
and my
huh.
man back activated. We doing a lot of shows. We just had our 30th anniversary for the Realms and Reality, the first album. So
Hmm.
we're just trying to do our numbers and do our 1-2, you know?
Okay. So, this gonna be a wonderful time. I didn't get much time to spend with you. This gonna be like my champagne personal time with all her favorite hip hop legends. You one of my favorite MCs. Um, I recall. I don't know if you recall, but we met at the Javison. I mean, I used to play your song when I was a host with Red Bandit, and he had did me dirty. I came from work and I couldn't get in, and you held the door for me. You got me in the door because I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get in." I was like, all crazy, and you just like open the door. And we've been through ever since. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's how I
We got
remember
we got we
because
got we got to take care of each other. You know what I mean? We got to take care of
yeah,
each other.
it
That's
was
that's the main
crazy
thing.
because it was crazy because I never forgot you for that. And this is how you pay homage to people who look out for you. So I always played
Hmm.
your songs. And when I played it, I always smiled like he looked out for me. You know what I mean? So on this
Appreciate it.
show, on these platforms, unfortunately, we can't hardly play the music because it's a copyright infringement.
Mm.
But I could throw up the videos and we could discuss it. But
Okay.
before we get there, it's a lot of people who know who you are, and
Hmm.
it's a lot of people who's trying to find out who you are. Give us a little synopsis who you are and what you do.
Well, my name's Phantasm, the tall man, one half of the legendary Cellar Dwellers. We came straight out of Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York. Been doing this for a long, long, long time. We were signed to Loud Records. So
Hmm.
that's Mobb Deep, that's Wu-Tang Clan, that's Big Pun, that's Exhibit, and a gang of others. Dead Press, shout out Dead Press, and the Alcoholics too. So we signed
Remember that?
to a great, great, great hip hop label.
Oh yeah,
And
oh yeah.
yeah,
They treated you good.
yeah, they treated us good, you know what I mean? But of course, when you want a label that got gold and platinum artists, there's some people that's gonna go further than some people gotta play the background. So
That's true.
Mobb Deep, The Wu, Big Pun, Raekwon as a solo artist was signing live too. So of course all the attention and the money and the promotion and the marketing is gonna go behind the big
The
wigs.
big
And
ass,
then
the one that's moving. Yeah.
right. And then groups like us, Alcoholics, Exhibit at the time before he really got with Dr. Dre and Snoop and them, we was kind of in the background, and Dead Press too. Dead Press should have got a lot more shine than what they
Oh
got
yeah,
too.
yeah, they
But
was definitely dope. I played them too. But
hmm
it's crazy you saying that because I know now, but back then, we all, especially the underground, we was all playing your records, so we just thought it was a hit.
yeah,
But
no, it
but but
was, it was moving. But what the only thing I didn't like about Loud was they will put our record out with other Loud artists.
right,
So it's like we competing against our own people because if Cellar
yeah.
Dwellers got a single out, Mobb Deep got a single out, Wu Tang got a single out, whatever
Who you
starts
gonna
to
push?
take off, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And then on top of competing with each other, now we still got to compete with Def Jam. We still got to
Uh-huh.
compete with Bad Boy. We still got to compete with No Limit. We still got to compete with Cash. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Uh-huh.
putting us against our own peers and the rest of the whole industry.
Uh-huh.
So somebody's gonna have to suffer somewhere down the line. So that's the
Yeah.
only thing I didn't really like about it. Other than that, we would have been okay. But unfortunately, the same times our records went out, other bigger acts went out, and then of course they had to go with whatever's making money. I
Mm-hmm.
understand the business of it, but logically, you should have did just one at a time, and you could have chased it a little better.
Um, from their point of view, I don't know what they was thinking, but if you asking me,
Mhm.
they was going. You know how that saying? You ever heard the saying? You throw enough shit on the wall, something to stink, a
There
stick.
you go. There you go.
I see that
There you
stick
go.
out my brain. I meant to say stick.
Yeah.
They was just putting all of you out. Whoever was gonna blow up, that's the one they was gonna roll with.
Whatever's working, whatever's making money. Okay, put all the money, put all the guns, put everything behind that, and let's go.
And unfortunately, a lot of people got left behind in the water because
hmm
a lot of those labels was independent slash major, or they had backing, but
Right, they had backing. Right.
they had a lot of people in the office. They didn't know how to push hip hop. You know what I mean? Because
hmm
they was just wet behind the ear doing what? Okay, just dome over here. Okay, we was making a lot of money. I'm telling you, on the radio shows, those
hmm
labels was feeding us real well. All the labels.
Right. hmm
Okay, from underground to the big leagues, because you had to come underground before you get on the big
Before
stations.
you got there,
So
exactly.
that's why we knew so many people. You had Kevin Keefe and the Dirty Dozen, awesome
hmm
too.
hmm
Hank Love Half Pint Radio Show, and you had the one I was on
Exactly.
with Red Bandit.
Yep.
Red Bandit brought me in, but I became the popular one
Right.
because I was pulling people from Brooklyn, Queens, Chilltown, Jersey City, Patterson.
Mhm.
I'm a tri-state lady. I didn't know too many people in Connecticut at that point. But they came out, but they didn't come out like New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah. Tri-State was
I didn't see
definitely
them.
big.
Yeah, I didn't see them standing outside. But I could tell you this: when I booked Brooklyn, the line was out the door. I was like, damn,
Oh yeah.
Brooklyn never disappointed me. They always showed up. I could book people from Queens, and yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. And you got to fill that spot if your guest not coming.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
If
no show,
nobody
you
shows
gotta have
up.
something to do. I booked Brooklyn. There was a line outside. I was like, damn, we
hmm
got something. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
I got a few pictures left. I'm gonna start. I think I shared a few, but I cry when I see hip hop today. So
hmm
I know you got a partner, and he's not
Yeah.
available because I'm more close to you.
hmm
Just give him a shout out so it's not just one group. Y'all still
Yeah,
together, right?
definitely. Yo, shout out my boy UG. You already know what it is. You know what I mean?
What up, UG?
Once you see me, you see him. Once you see him, you see me. You know what I mean?
And see, I love the mirror image. See, that's how groups stay together because so many groups break up. Why do you think so many groups break up? In your
It's
opinion?
egos and money that come into play.
Okay.
It's egos and money that come into play, and that's one thing because even with my group, he's the more popular one out of the group. You know what I mean? I
Oh,
kind of
okay.
stay to the background. I kind of stay to my own thing, but I don't trip off of people noticing him more or doing stuff with him more because my thing is as long as this is 50-50, I don't care what happens, you know. But a lot of people, if you get that attention first, or if people start liking you, the other
They
person
get
starts to
jealous.
feel sideways or feel a thing right, and then same thing like the Buster and Leaders, you know what I mean? Buster was the star out of the group, so of course
And Charlie
more people
Brown and
gonna
them
want
got a
him,
little
more people
salty.
want
Yeah.
right, you know what I mean? So it's always gonna be that, it's always one person gonna shine just a little bit more.
It's just the way it is. It's
It's
like
just life.
Harold Melvin the
It's
Blue
just
Notes.
life.
It was Teddy Pendergrass. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. There's always that one person that just sticks out a little more, or maybe just more talkative, or just had a better personality, whatever the case may be, it's gonna be something. So
I'm
my thing
glad
is,
you.
as long as the money is 50-50, I would never trip off of just because there's people who's gonna like me, there's people who's gonna like me. There's girls that's gonna like him, there's girls that's gonna like me. So
Either way, you got
it's
yours, he
always
got
gonna be
his.
something.
Hmm.
There you go.
And then you
But
can't
you
have everybody's stuff. You got to have your own. Like it's called play your lane. A lot of them don't know how
exactly.
to play their lane. They jealous watching your lane. Like that's like we go out to eat and you
Hmm.
sitting there worrying about my food. Look, you got your plate. Get into
Exactly.
your plate. And get, I was
There
out
you
with this
go.
yeah this guy one time and he was like, soda bad for you. I had all this
Hmm.
Spanish food, chicken, rice, plantains. And he talking about the
Right.
soda the guy gave me for free. And he's sitting
Exactly.
there with a big plate of pork ribs. I didn't say
Hmm.
one word. I could have said, I don't sit down with people who eat a lot of pork. I didn't do one thing. So I get what you're
Exactly.
saying. If people
Hmm.
play their lane, you can have longevity in whatever you're trying to do if you
Whatever
get
you
out of
trying to
people's
do.
plate. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that sounds great because I love this behind the scene because a lot of people, yeah, they see sometime on interviews on YouTube, but they don't get into the behind the scenes stuff. They just talk about your record, let's do this. The same old
But
question.
but
On here,
yeah,
I want to get behind the scenes, talk
and,
about your struggles, how you got in. Like, how did you start? How did y'all start, and how did y'all meet, and how it all came about to get the deal? Mm-hmm.
well, I started. Um, I'm from Flatbush, so there's a lot of MCs that came before me.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Special Ed,
Got
we
it
had
made.
Chub
You got
Rock,
it. Woo, my man.
also Rampage is from my area. So I was always a fan of hip hop, seeing Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, and all the legends and all the greats. But once
Okay.
Special Ed came, and Chubb, even Chubb, because Chubb was before Ed, but Special Ed was exactly my immediate area. I lived on East 35th. He lived on 31st. So that's like 4 blocks away.
Mm-hmm.
So once he kept saying he was coming out with a record, like, yeah, okay. Because he said it for, a good 2-3 summers. But then one summer, it happened. And he was in the junkyard, boom, burn up,
Turn up.
and it was all over. So I'm like, it was more or less of, if he could do it, I could do it, because now it wasn't just seeing stars on TV. I'm seeing somebody who I actually know who made
Mm-hmm.
it, and that's what put
Mm-hmm.
the battery in my back. Like, okay, I could do this now.
That
So I
that's
want to
that's
shout out
really
Special Ed
profound.
because he was definitely my motivation and my inspiration.
I met him with Big Jeff, and
Hmm.
he was so nice to me. All the Big Jeff people he introduced, they treat me
Yeah.
like they sister. They don't come
Yeah, he
at me
gets a
all
lot of
crazy or
respect.
nothing.
Shout out Big Jeff. He gets a lot of respect,
I
and
had him
that's,
on last week. That's my homie,
mhm.
homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he been
And
around for a long time. Good
oh,
dude too. Good dude.
yeah, he's a good dude. Just
Hmm.
he shows up when he can, and but he loves music, sports, and he shows up. When I say he shows up, he shows up. He booked.
Hmm.
We met because I was managing K Solo for a while, and
Okay.
Rock from Helter Skelter.
Yes,
And
sir. That's my boy.
our brother who passed away, DJ Lord Yoda X, I knew him first from Zulu and everything, being on the radio. I let
Hmm.
him, come down the station. And he introduced me to Jeff because I was trying to book K Solo and Rock, And then Jeff and I clicked. You know what I mean? We
Hmm.
clicked, so we've been best friends ever since. See, sometimes you introduce people to people and they just happen to click, and people are like, "Oh, you my friend first." I said, "No, my friends are your friends, but if our personality match, we
Right.
may gravitate towards each other."
Exactly. Exactly.
God bless DJ
Hmm.
Lord, you're the ex from the Crash Crew, and
Hmm.
they going and but I will always keep his name alive because we had some good times too. And
Right.
yeah, but that sounds very profound because see, this is the type of stuff I like to talk about.
Hmm.
You just pay homage to some of the pioneers,
Yes,
and
sir.
a lot of people get on these interviews, they don't even mention anyone.
They don't
You know
even
what I
mention
mean?
how they got started, why they got started, who
Yeah.
put them on, who did this.
Not, let's stop right there. They never talk about who put them on. Who put y'all
Never.
on?
Well,
Who
we
put
kind
y'all
of
on?
walked our own dogs, because just the way I am, I don't like to really follow behind cliques. I don't like to really, what I mean, bandwagon or nothing like that. So what happened was, once I seen Ed doing his thing, I kind of said, you know what, I think I could do this too. So I started doing my 1-2,
Right.
and
You
I
took it
met
to the
UG.
labels? Oh, UG?
No,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take it to the labels at that time. What I was trying to do was just trying to create a whole album. And then once I finished the whole album, I wanted to take it to a label and be like, all right, just cut the check because we already got everything done. So it was taking me some time doing it.
You don't cut
It
the
was
check.
taking me some time to try to do it that way. Right, exactly. So, because I already knew how I wanted to sound, what I wanted to be like. I didn't want them telling me what I need to do or what kind of records I need to cut. So, so we was taking our time doing that. And then I met UG because he was a dancer for my homeboy, one of my other homeboys.
Right.
So I did a show with him. I met UG. We was all in the limo. We all had the cipher going on, and he kicked his part, and I was like, "Yo, you kind of nice, you know what I mean? You should consider doing it." She was like, "Yeah, you know, I want to, but." So then he actually had a click. Him and his man was doing stuff. So I was gonna start producing them, but then his man had he went away on a football scholarship because he went to play overseas. So that left UG, my partner, by himself. So I was like, you know what? Still continue on. Don't stop. You know, he's like, yeah, but I'm in a group. And I was like, yeah, don't worry about that. You you're good enough to make it on your own. I'm going to still help you. So back then you had a 4-song demo. You want to give the labels your best 4 songs so they could kind of see where you going, see where you at with it. And if they like the 4 songs, they would give you a budget for you to, you know, make an album. So when we was doing the 4 songs, he said, yo, I want you to jump on the song with me. We did that one song together. And while we was shopping the demo, everybody kept saying, yo, that song with y'all together, y'all compliment each other. He got the deep voice, you got the high-pitched voice, y'all flow, y'all interact off each other, y'all bounce off each other. He's like, yo, that kind of works. And we were just like, you know what? If this is what it's going to take to get us a deal, then
let's go.
Let's go ahead and do it. So then we formed it, and Cellar Dwellers came about.
Well, your debut album, Realms in Reality, celebrates its 30th year anniversary in 2026, right? We in 2026. What memories come to mind when you think about creating that album? And did you know it would still be respected 3 decades later?
No, that I did not know. It took a lot of hard work, like you said. Hank Love, Mecca and the Dirty Dozen,
My girl Mecca, what's up, man? I remember you and Mecca. You went to City Hall. City Hall, City. What's that college?
City College, I think.
City College, yeah. I think either there or you came to the station. But I remember.
Yeah, I came up to all of those stations. We really did our groundwork. Shout out Stretch Armstrong and Barbito. We really did all the underground stations, all the college radio stations, and that's what built a name for us in New York City.
You had to,
and we was killing all the shows. Like shout out Lyricist Lounge, Danny and Ant. So
Lyricist
we used
Lounge.
to do, we used to do all those kind of shows, and we've been there a gang of times. So the name just started spreading throughout New York. Yo, you heard this group called the Cellar Dwellers? Oh, I heard them on the radio last night. Oh, I seen them at the Lyricist Lounge. Oh, I seen them over here. I seen them at the Muse. I seen them at this. I seen them at Sound Factory. Whatever the case was. Anything that had to do with underground hip hop, we was killing it. So the name just started spreading. And then we started shopping the demo. And then on our second stop, we went to Profile Records work. First, my man DJ Action, who used to DJ for Special Ed, he took us up to Profile. They liked what they heard. They said, bring some more. And then our next stop was Loud. And then that's where we landed with Loud.
Now, let me see if I can get my recollection together. Loud Records. I'm trying to remember my brother's name. That was my homework. You had Justo. Was he at Loud?
No.
The mixtape guy, was he there? I could have
No, he wasn't there. We had the Stretch Armstrong was there, Scott Free and Maddie C from The Source.
Oh, let me see who else. Was it Loud? What's the other label? Because I thought it was at Loud. Malachi. Do you remember Malachi?
Malachi.
Guy? No.
I remember the name.
Malachi. I thought I met him at Loud, but it got to be another label, and I can't remember because you was able to walk upstairs to the label, and me being from the radio. We used to go inside all the labels. We hung out there. We went to the listening point. I had a ball. And then, rumors have it, my brother Guru, I love him, they said he went to go collect his money one day, and then they changed the system and locked all the doors. We couldn't get upstairs anymore. because
Yeah.
somebody kept his money.
Yeah, yeah. He went up there with that thing
Yeah,
on him. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
in your
remember.
song, you said you went to Brooklyn. Of course, I'm from Brooklyn. Of course, a
Mm-hmm.
packet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and and Guru was a cool dude, but for him to have to
Super
go up
cool.
there, that mean
Super cool.
you did something wrong to him because he was just laid back. And
Yeah.
he's a Sagittarius. I think he was a Sagittarius. I'm not. No, his birthday's not. And I said to myself, just like Naughty by Nature. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Treacherous, the guy, like you said, is always one
Oh
about.
yeah.
But he's been nice to me from day one. The other
Yeah.
ones don't really speak. And I said, but like you said, it was that one person of the group
Yeah.
who had charisma. And I
Mm-hmm.
gravitate like Tretch. I could text him on the phone too. I'm gonna get him up here. And
Exactly.
but you're right. It's always that one person in the group.
It's always somebody who just stands out for whatever reason, just a little bit more. And
And you can't get
the other
jealous. I think they got
right,
jealous
the other
of him.
group members or the other members, you got to accept that and you got to be cool with that. But some people, they just can't get over that chip on their shoulder.
That
And
I'm telling you, it's a chip. Like, oh,
yeah,
you should be
because
talking to me. I'm like,
as the fame and all the other things, and some people, even if the money is good, like even if y'all getting equal money, it's just that ego that won't
right,
let it go. So, and
true
my
that.
thing was, as long as the money is 50-50, I'm a never trip. I don't care about that.
Well, you don't know how happy you making me right now because we go back
Mm-hmm.
and I cry because that ever was so important. And I told somebody the
It
other
was.
day, imagine if we had cameras on our phone back then. We
Ah
could
man,
post
it
them
would.
because they don't believe us. I said, if you could just witness what we did up and down the streets. I was born in
Mm-hmm.
Newark, then I lived in Chilltown, but I spent most of my life in Manhattan. I went to,
Mm-hmm.
second, trade school on 40th Street. I met Big O. He gave me a job on 42nd. I was there for years. That's where I
Mm-hmm.
met Hurricane from the Afro. I
Right.
booked Jam Master Jay. That's where I did everything. That was like 80, 81. And I said to myself, if we had phones on our camera like they do today,
Yeah, it
we
would have
could
been a whole. It
show
would have been a
improvement.
whole different thing.
They don't believe us because I'm like, it was the most funnest time of our
Mm-hmm.
lives up and down those streets, going to labels. And labels was giving functions left and right.
Yeah, yeah. It was a whole different system
Wow.
than
Mhm.
what it is now.
So,
Whole different system.
being that we just said that, this era and that era we just spoke about, what you think changed? Like, because you still go out and perform, what you think changed?
Right. Well, we do a lot of stuff overseas because I think there's a lot of fans that actually got into the industry, and to me, they should have just stayed fans.
Okay.
So it's like the people over here, they'll come out to the show, but then they don't give up the energy. They don't give up the applause. They just kind of just sit there and look at you like,
Like, you ain't all
yeah, okay,
that.
yeah. I got my man
Yeah.
who could run just as nice. I got my cousin who's
Yeah,
just as nice.
that's
So it's like,
terrible.
if you got all of that, why are you here at the show? You taking up
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
So overseas, they still yell, they still cheer, they still give it up, they still break dance, they still appreciate the culture of it. So that,
Go ahead.
yeah, yeah.
And because that's what they said. Because I have a gentleman named Maximilian
Mm-hmm.
from Germany. He one of the contributors in my magazine,
Mm-hmm.
recognized magazine. They have a culture of what we did in the early '80s. They appreciate all the pine. They know everybody. You know how
Yeah.
we were back then.
Mm-hmm.
They doing exactly what we was doing. So
Exactly.
today, to piggyback off what you just said, I think that was a great example, and I'm hopefully I'm gonna use it if I could snatch it from you.
Yeah.
The fans used to be fans. Now oh, you ain't all that. I said,
Right. Now
but
they
that was
want to
our
come into
era
the industry and now they want to take over and voice
and
their
be
opinion and
disrespectful.
have an opinion. Right, right.
Look, even if they come in the industry, be respectful of the pioneers and legends. We the
Mm-hmm.
only genre of music where people could come and disrespect the ones who paved the way.
Right, who came before you and
And we
that's
gonna
that
let them
that's
know on this show. I
yeah,
said to
that's
myself, I gotta create instead of complaining. I said I'm gonna have to create a voice in a place where my legends could be. Anyone could be here, but it's not gonna be no disrespecting the ones who paved the way. You know what I mean? We could
exactly.
talk our slick,
Mm-hmm.
but these new artists get you making money because someone paved the way for you.
Exactly. And
You're a
and they're
DJ
all
because a
about us.
DJ was
It's
before you. Hmm.
exactly. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about my clique. Like even we started our conversation, you know what I mean? I already
Wait,
gave it up
hold
to
on.
Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, Chubb Rock,
Well,
Ed.
yeah, say that again. Your internet Wi-Fi was doing it. Repeat that line again. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like I was saying, I came on the interview bigging up OGs that came before me. I talk about Chubb Rock, Special Ed, Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane. You know what I mean? So those are my forefathers. Those are the dudes that I looked up to before I even started doing it. So
Right, right.
you gotta make way for the people who came before you. Some people do interviews, they don't even shout out who gave them influence or how they even got their style or where they even came from.
Pause on that. I feel good. I'm so glad I'm talking to you because when we was on the radio, 449 Broadway, Lower, Manhattan. I I helped out Fubu. Fubu. I brought them to the radio
Mm-hmm.
station. I
Mm-hmm.
introduced them to all the shows we mentioned, and I be seeing him all around. He's a billionaire now. I got him
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the back of Insomniac magazine. You remember that magazine with
Mm-hmm.
Israel and them? I put him on
Mm-hmm.
the back. They got the check. I didn't get no money. I went to the Empire, State Building at his office to get the check, and I gave it to them. I didn't make no money. Here's the
Right,
deal. I be seeing him on TV. My daughter was like mine, because I always had my daughter with me, and he don't mention me no time. He be talking about how he made it. Yeah, you did the work, but I put you on FM radio. I
right.
made you popular in the hood. Yeah, he had
Mm-hmm.
L as the ambassador, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you forgot Champagne.
Right.
Just give me one little mention, people will believe me. You know what I
Ex-
mean?
Exactly,
And I
exactly.
love him. I love all four of them. I loved them, but I said, why we do that? You know,
Yeah, a lot of people for whatever reason they kind of forget where they came from or
where the
whatever.
grind came from and who was there.
And like you said,
Mm-hmm.
a shout out could go a long way. It don't even gotta always be about a percentage
Money.
or I need my finder's fee or whatever, whatever.
Nah, keep
Sometimes
that.
just a
Mm-hmm.
shout out and an
Right.
acknowledgement could go a
It,
long way.
a shout out is a payday,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they make it. Because I had my boy on here the other day. Who was it? DJ Shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to say hi to him too. DJ Shortcut from Canada. He
Mm-hmm.
know one of the guys who used to be at the radio station trying to get in, named Maestro.
Right.
He's in Canada. He one of the biggest artists out there, and I didn't know that. I said I got
Oh
a
yeah,
picture with
that's
him.
that's my boy, Maestro Fresh West.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
said I used to have him down at the radio station. I
Mm-hmm.
had to upload the picture, and he like, "That's you, that's me," and that's him hugging me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Shout
I
out
said
my
to
boy
myself,
Maestro Fresh West out of Canada.
"What's up, Maestro?
Doing
You
it
know,
big,
Sam,
doing it big, go and go before Dre.
before
So
Drake." That's
yeah.
right. And all you got to do is shout out Champagne and Red
Mm-hmm.
Bandit. I don't need no
Mm-hmm.
money. Like I said, I know how to make my bread and put yeast in it. Like I told you,
Exactly.
I could be dead broke and don't need your money. I'm just cool with
Mm-hmm.
that. I just want credit,
Yeah.
of truth. I don't want none of your money because, like I said, but all other cultures will sit you down and make a way where you can have a position or put you
Right.
on.
Some way.
This
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like in hip hop, they always putting a number on this. Oh, you can't be a certain age doing that. Like I said, no other genre says that. Why in hip hop? Okay, you could be 101 and speak your rhymes. That's what you did.
Exactly.
That's your classics. Now
Mm-hmm.
to make a new rhyme like that, okay, your mind grow, you elevate.
Right.
You see
Right.
my
You might
name,
not be.
elevation, evolution, and elevation. You got to elevate to evolute. But you can't tell this person not to do his classic rhymes and he's 108. That's his song. You don't tell Frank
Exactly.
Sinatra, he gone and
Exactly.
his song still play. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly. And the thing with that with the age thing too, it's like it's two things. If you
mm,
still up there, but you can still perform at a high level, you can still do your things because there's some people who can't hit them notes no more, and they can't really do what they used to do. So at some point, yeah, you got to sit it down. But my thing
right,
is,
right, when to
if the
change.
person is still right, if the person is old but they're still good enough to do it on a professional level and still sound good and still sound like the records, hey, it's no limit. Let them keep going. Because
Like
even Jay
Rakim,
just came. Jay, right, Rakim still doing it, still sound like the record. Jay just came back out, did the Yankee Stadium, sold it out 3 nights in a row, and he's still sounding like the record. He's still doing it on a high level. There's some of our older veterans that just for whatever reason they can't do it no more. It don't sound the same. It don't look the same.
right.
They don't got the breath control no more. And it's like, all right, it's
Yeah, I
time to
know,
sit it
right?
down now. It's time to sit it down now.
Well, I agree with that the way when you put it like that,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to look like a fool can't walk
Right.
across the street and you out of breath, like
Right.
like when
Exactly.
Bobby Brown was doing his thing with New Edition, he couldn't finish the
Exactly.
steps,
At some point, you
and
got
we
to
cracking
realize
on
that
him.
you're not the same. You're not the same anymore. So just
Yeah.
kind of. But if you of age and you can still cut the mustard, then go out there and get it. Yeah, go
Like
out there and
Smokey
get it.
Robinson. He's still out there doing
Mm-hmm.
his little dance, and he like 80, 90 years old. I said, but like
Exactly.
you said, that's a great example, and I got to use that. And all
Mm-hmm.
right, so let me get to this. Okay, songs like "Land of the Lost," "Good Dwellers," "Perfect Match," and "Mystic Freestyle" became underground favorites. Which
Mm-hmm.
Cellar Dweller record best represent who you are as an MC and why?
Ah,
Hmm.
that's hard.
Hmm.
That's hard
Makes you go
because
hum, like you
the
say,
whole
hmm.
yeah. So let me break it down. The whole concept of realms and reality was all right. The reality is we two MCs from Brooklyn, New York. So of course we could talk about the streets. We could talk about this and that and the third. But what we bring into the table is the realm side, which was the fantasy, the wizardry, the sorcery, the Dungeons and Dragons. That's what we brought to the table. That was our thing that we was bringing. So that's the whole concept of realms and reality. So we can
Mm,
do what everybody else can do because we two cats from Brooklyn. So of course we know that life, we live that life, we about that life too. But the fantasy side, we created a whole new different type of lingo to hip hop
mhm,
and because wasn't nobody doing it at the time. You had a couple groups who touched on the horrorcore, talking about bones, skulls, and stuff like that. But we wasn't doing horrorcore. Our stuff was more like X-Men. You know what I mean? So
mm,
I would say Mystic Freestyle and stuff like Land of the Lost is where that's what we brought to the table.
mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that
So.
sounds really good because
Mm-hmm.
and to create your name, cellar dweller. What does that mean? How y'all put that two together?
Okay. The name Cellar Dwellers. Well, the basement
Right,
is the bottom of the house. You know what I
right. The
mean?
cellar dweller.
Right, the cellar. So, and we dwell in
Hmm.
underground hip hop, which is underground, the basement, underground. So
Yeah,
you got, and we used to hang out in my homeboy's basement a lot too. So we just cellar dweller. You know what I
dweller.
mean? We dwell in the
And this
underground hip hop. So,
that's profound because usually when I hear that word, I think of Nelson Mandela because I put in the song with Lakim Shabazz. Well, he was a
uh,
cellar dweller. You know what I mean? And then
yeah,
when I met
exactly.
y'all, I was like, oh, cellar dweller, and I had to look it up way back in the day. And I said,
Hmm.
that's deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way you just broke that down was very profound. And I said,
Hmm.
see, y'all so deep.
Yeah.
Man, that's why I love, building with people. You don't know they so deep when they speak. You can break down, you know, just real. Okay, now
Yeah.
what was your experience signing with Loud Records? You told me earlier, and you said the experience was pretty cool. Now
No, it
let's
was, it
get
was,
to.
it was a
Mm-hmm,
dope experience. It was a dope experience. At the time, they
mm-hmm,
only had Wu Tang and Mobb Deep. So
mm-hmm.
we was there kind of from its inception, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people came on. More people came on. When we first got there, it was Loud slash RCA.
Right.
RCA was backing them, and then once once they did another venture with Sony, and then they swallowed all the other groups. I think Beat Nuts and a couple other groups came over from the Relativity package. That's when it kind of got crazy,
Oh,
and
relativity, really big.
yeah, yeah. So they
Uh-huh.
swallowed that catalog and they took some of the artists there, and then we kind of got misconstrued and disshuffled, and then we was gonna go over the Ruckus actually, because
Mm-hmm.
that was more our lane and more our speed. But then he said, you know what? Now I'm gonna start another sub label from Loud called Stimulated, and I'm gonna put y'all there, and y'all could kind of be the Wu Tang of that thing. But then it never panned out. So
Oh, so
and
what
that's
year was that? It kind of ended with the
that
labels.
was kind of like I think 2000 ish.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they started a label called Stimulated. Dante Ross, who was a big
Your mic,
executive,
your
big name
Wi-Fi.
in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You can hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now. Um,
Okay.
I just enjoy this conversation because
So
yeah, what
yeah,
too?
they were starting a smaller branch of Loud called Stimulated, which was going to be
Mm-hmm.
run by Dante Ross, and he had
Oh,
already had fame with Electro with Brand Nubian and a couple other groups. So
okay.
But at the time, it just didn't work out because he was running around with Everlast, who was
Oh,
making a ton
Everlast.
of
I
money.
haven't seen
So
him in a
he
while.
got, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So
Well, that's
we back, we digging back in the archives now. So
oh man, I'm telling you, make me tear up because I just wish we had cameras on our phone and we could be posting so much.
mm-hmm,
They be like, I'm like, y'all did that? Yes, a whole bunch of us is responsible for that. You know what I mean? It's not one
yeah,
person.
mm-hmm,
It was a host of us. Everyone was pretty much cool back then. I mean, I used to host shows because I was on the radio, so they would have our radio show go host. That's why when I saw you at the Javits Center that day,
mm-hmm.
we had got someone invested in get cassette. We did the mixtapes, like they hear mixtapes now. We was doing them back then. So
Back,
Red Bandit, we had an
yeah,
artist
yeah,
come up and do, 16 bars. They acting like they created the word bars. Man, we was doing that back then, and we had
yeah,
all
yeah,
these
yeah,
tapes
yeah.
at the
I've
Javits
been,
Center. It was just crazy. It was the magic. It was just so much and full of life, and people got along. And people, to me, I saw a lot of black and brown people making money off of their own music. And then now I see streaming taking everybody's music. What you feel about streaming? And do you think wax and CDs and cassette tapes should be back in our lives? What you think? Because no one's making money on streams, but
right, right. That's the
the
thing.
man behind the scene,
They found a way to take our music and then still give us the bare minimum
minimum.
and still make money off of it. So if you're a smart artist, you should bring back the cassettes and the vinyl or find a
Give me
way to get your
five.
music.
Put your hand on the glass.
Yeah,
Give me
yeah, yeah, yeah,
five.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh
You you
man, I
you
gotta
you,
send this
you
to my boy. He debated me the other day. I said, stay stuck because all they
yeah,
doing is steal your money.
you
But
got to
finish your
do it
thought.
because what they're doing it's just a modern day slavery. They're taking the stream and giving you pennies, and they're getting all the ads, and the ad people are paying them so much money.
Major
And
money
yeah, we kind of getting involved in the process. But Ice T just did a thing where he's putting out a new album,
on his
and he's
website.
not putting it on no DSP. He's not putting it on no platform. You can only get it if you want it from his site, and that's dope because that cuts out all these other platforms that's just gaining money off of us. If you want the product, you like the product, come directly to my site, and I'll eat off of it.
And
That's the
see,
best way to do it.
this is. I'm sad it was too late. I love T too. I met him through Big Jeff.
Hmm.
And T was born in Newark, New Jersey, but it's sad it was so late because this came out
Right.
probably 2000, and this person I know had like $10 million. So the person called me up, Champagne. You always got all these groups. Bring me some groups, but don't bring me no whack groups. I'm like, what? Whack
Right.
groups? Y'all kill me with that whack shit. I said, I bring
Hmm.
groups and you pick out who you like. That's how you do it. You know
Right.
what I mean? You don't be talking about don't bring
Exactly.
nobody whack because the person I might think is dope and got grind and show up, and the one who
They-
real good, I can't get along with him because he won't show up for nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Always high.
Exactly.
If,
Hmm.
I develop a lot of groups, and I said this person I wouldn't bring them to the meeting. But anyway, the
Right.
person had $10 million, so I signed 5 people to the deal,
Hmm.
and all I
So
wanted was 10%. It was
right.
Grandmaster Cash, Pudgy the Fat Bastard,
Yes, shut up,
Fat
Pud.
Cat.
Hmm.
Who's the other one? Dress from Black Sheep,
Yes,
and
sir.
Nikki Nicole from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we
Oh,
broiled in a checking cashing place just to get my 10%. Only one person gave me my money without a fight. That was Dress
wow.
from Black Sheep.
Wow.
I will always love him. He walked in the door, here's your 10%.
Wow.
Everybody else, it was an argument. We went on 23rd Street to cash the check. There's an Egyptian dude who owned, working back there. He saw us going back and
Uh-huh.
forth. Then he said, what's wrong, miss? I said, they won't get my 10%. I just signed them. He said, click, click. He locked the door. You know how they lock the door in the check cashing? He
Uh-huh.
said, get your
Mm-hmm.
money. And I got it, but
Mm.
Nicole never paid me and I didn't get it from cash. I ain't mad no more. I used to be mad back then because I said, I
Right.
got you a deal in 2 weeks. 2 weeks and they
Right.
gave you a check and the royalties are yours. It's not even mine.
Right.
It
Right.
was
Right.
just, it was terrible.
This so
1 second, your internet.
that's horrible, man. Horrible business.
Yeah, take it back. Your internet, take it back. Repeat what you said.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's horrible. That's horrible business. Like if somebody do something for you, y'all agreed on it. It shouldn't even take a contract to honor something. You know what I mean? It's live by your word. If that's the agreement, that's the agreement. And a lot of that is
Man,
missing today too.
It was,
Just people just having no spine and no backbone.
and that's why when Nas first said hip hop is dead, people get mad at him. I said I was looking at it from a different point of view. What I took from it
Mm-hmm.
was like the incident I just gave you, the example I just gave you. A
Mm-hmm.
normal person would have just gave me my 10%, like Dress from Black Sheep. So I
Right.
think he was saying hip hop is dead because you can't even do deals anymore without some BS going down.
Yeah. It's
You know,
and there was a lot of that going on. It's a lot of that going on. Or some person is with you for 3 years. You doing all the running around, bringing them, and then as soon as they get a little bit of light somewhere else, they jump ship and gone, and just leave you dry.
I call it
As a
Xing you out the
manager
picture.
or as a
Mhm.
promoter, that's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking sometimes.
Man, I lost so much. I put so much money into groups. I got records here. I refuse to put them on the wall because it gives me break heart because I put up 10, 20 grand. You know, that was a lot of money back then to put
Yeah.
groups
Yeah.
on. I shot their video, put them out. The
Mm-hmm.
guy just cursing me out all the time. I said, you ain't ready.
Mm-hmm.
You just want something free. Like
Mm-hmm.
when people curse you out and it's their fault, they try to play victim.
Right.
It's time for you to reconsider being around them,
Oh
give them
yeah, for
access
sure.
to you.
For
I
sure.
said I like my inner peace because I said if you like today I do books with people. I said that's an argument all the time, and I said
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like getting cursed out no more. You know, you ever got to that point like
Oh
why
yeah,
can't
no,
we just yeah? Mm-hmm.
that's one of the reasons why I am how I am today. I don't really have a lot of friends in this music game because where I'm from, where I came up from, we don't play those games. So I can't
Right.
really involve myself with certain situations because I know how I'm going to act if it go left. So I can't even put myself around that because and this is a very very cutthroat industry and everybody claims that they're street and they're from a street background, but when it really comes down to it, they're not because
No,
you can't play those type of games in the street. So
because the street have different rules, and
different,
it's a
way different rules, way different
listen.
rules.
I watched that movie on Tubi called Money and Violence. Woo wee!
Mm-hmm.
I said, how do I watch that? I don't know how I be watching
Yeah.
that. I guess because I like making films, and I say I love the writer. I didn't like all
Mm-hmm.
the boom bap, but they was from Brooklyn, Haitian dudes,
Right.
and
Right.
I
Yeah.
said
I know.
I
I know.
love
I know
it.
the dudes who made that,
Yeah.
and some of those stories was actually real. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
when you mentioned
I'm
Brooklyn, I was like, dang.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm from that. I'm from that
Yeah.
Haitian Jack and Jimmy Henchman and
Oh,
um,
Haitian Jack, man, that
yeah,
goes
yeah.
back.
So it's like certain things you can't, you know what I mean? You can't
Can't play with
even
people.
play around with.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah.
Now,
So
speaking of Brooklyn, my girl Paula Perry, Fort
yes,
Greens,
sir. Yes, sir.
that's my homegirl. She down here too, a couple towns over. I had her on, but I
Mm-hmm.
gotta bring her back. To make we gotta do it again. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Paula Perry from Fort Greens is one of the baddest female MCs out there,
Oh yeah,
and it seemed
definitely.
like she had a joint on
She.
Primo. You know,
Oh yeah, she's one of the pioneers. She's before Foxy. She's before Little Kim. She's before Nicki Minaj. She's before Cardi B. Paula Perry
talk to me,
is that chick. Believe me when
yo.
I tell you. And
Listen,
she can probably spank a lot of these chicks to this day right now.
oh she can,
I
oh
will
she
put money
can.
on that. I will put
You will
money
make
on that.
some money back
So
because boy, I keep it.
oh yeah.
I'm so
No,
glad it
I
wasn't her.
know Paula when she was running with Master A.
Yeah, all of them,
I
they
know
all
Paula Perry.
separated now. Yeah,
So
they don't even speak no more. But
yeah,
the thing
but
is, it goes back to
yeah,
what you
that's what I'm
said.
saying. That's that same thing we was talking about, the egos and the money and all that stuff. It all come into play. But far as just lyrical skill, Paula Perry,
Yeah.
no games, no
Yo,
games.
she still write like that. Like she be writing blazing
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I say, man, Paula should be writing for some of these girls today. They be like Nicki Minaj. She could write a whole album, and put Nicki in a
Yeah.
whole different light. But Paula and her flow still like crazy. I said, man, Paula, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like you
Oh
said, it
yeah.
comes from the egos. People don't want to see you up in front. They want you to always be behind them. When I was
Exactly.
emceeing, I wasn't dope like that at all. I was just a regular MC,
Mm-hmm.
but my mother said, you're real good in administration. Why don't you learn that and help people? I think that's why I do a lot of behind the scenes because my late mother saw. that I was good in
Mm-hmm.
learning stuff, and and still today I'm self-taught. I learned this program, and she knew it.
Right,
She
right,
said,
exactly.
You'll do well helping people because they wasn't going to learn it, but they needed help to move along." And I thought I was
Mm-hmm.
helping people. I was helping people, but I just got tired of getting cursed out. It started
Yeah.
wearing me down. I'm like,
Nah,
I
it
didn't even
will. It
say nothing
will,
to
man.
you. Hmm.
When you put out all good energy and you get negative back, it takes something from you
It was
every time.
taking
And
me
it's just like,
down.
yeah, nah, it is.
And who's some of your favorite? You gave me a list of some of the favorite people from Brooklyn. What about other boroughs like the Bronx? Because they said hip hop star in the Bronx. I know a lot of them. Those are my friends.
Oh yeah,
And they always arguing about who's first, who's second. I don't even see why they arguing and debating.
yeah.
It should be
There's not really a first and second. There's just good and
we
bad and
always
stuff
in
like
it.
that. Yeah,
We
yeah.
always
So
there
I mean,
because
I
because
love I love all the dope MCs. You know what I mean? Because
and that's the bottom line.
right,
Hmm.
there's three tiers of it. There's people who can rap, who can just put words together. Then you got MCs that have real lyrical skills, and then you got the real top tier, which is the lyricist, who just
Like him,
bar.
Shabazz.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly,
and I
exactly. All
mean,
of them. You
and
know what I mean? Wise, intelligent. You know what I mean?
from Jersey,
But
he from Trenton, New
yeah,
Jersey.
Paul
Woo!
Rice and teachers, yo, super
Rock
duper
this
dope
funky
MCs.
joint. Get it?
Yeah, man.
Get it?
So you got some
Who else?
real animals out there. There's a bunch of
I,
them.
I like the way
Bunch
you
of them.
said there are tears to it because we said that
No,
in
they
R
are.
and B, and we said that in house music R and B because you could hear Whitney Houston, she number 8, she top tier,
Right,
and then you
exactly.
get somebody else they see and they get mad. No,
Right.
it's just like you said, it's
No,
tears. We always said
it's
levels, but
levels.
I like the
Yeah,
tears.
yeah. It's
And
levels. It's different levels to it.
mhm.
So Nas is definitely one of them bar for bar kings. Jay, definitely bar for bar kings. You go to the West Coast, you got a guy like Ras Kass, bar
Oh,
for bar king.
woo,
You know what I mean? He's gonna put in that work. So
yeah. So somebody gave me a comment. Hold on, let's see what it is. I might have to put it on the screen for you. Oh, float. Okay, here you go. I'm gonna put it on the screen. You can read it.
hmm
So true, y'all are
no, I can't
spreading
really
real.
see it.
Okay, I got it. So true, y'all are
Okay.
spreading real info about this cutthroat industry.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
It's a,
both.
it's a real cut though. Yep.
Yeah, shout out to J Float for me.
Shout out to you.
Okay, that's my homeboy. He sings a lot of Luther songs. He was gifted with the voice. You know what I
Oh yeah,
mean?
that's a hard person to follow right there. So if you can hit
Oh,
those, then you on
he
your
get
way.
booked.
You
He
get
get
he on his
booked.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he going through a lot, but that's my boy. He get booked, and he just do it because he love it, not because he's trying to be Luther. He just doing because people
Yeah.
love his
No.
song.
Definitely.
Now,
Definitely.
let me ask you this: it's going to be crazy. When you was on stage back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
right? I know you said sometimes the fans in this era, the fans trying to be the rappers and they trying to be disrespectful. But back in the day,
Right.
name some of the groups you was on stage with? And then when y'all got off stage, did y'all meet and greet each other with respect? You know how you on stage, you rhyme and you open up for people, or they open up, or you in the middle. You got to pay for shows.
Right.
It's all good. It's part of the grind. What group you
Mm-hmm.
remember who was kind to you and because you just got off stage and they
Oh.
showed homage, and what group didn't? If you want to mention their name, so many. Hey, we got
Um.
time, baby.
Yeah. Well, sometimes in the early stages, if you opening up, you might not even see the headliners because they might come
We late.
4, 5,
Hmm.
7 groups later, right? You know what I mean? So you might not even see them. But for the most part, anytime we got on stage with most of our peers, you know what I'm saying? They gave it up because they seen what we did or we seen what they did right before them. So, but we shared the stage with, oh my God, too many, too many. I'm just give you a few names, Adolf the Assassin. We
Oh,
shared
Adolf.
yeah, we shared the stage with the Artifacts from Jersey. We shared
Yeah.
the stage, of course, with Smith and Wesson, Helter Skelter. Shared the
Rock.
stage with Brand Nubians. I mean, so many. Souls of Mischief out in the West Coast. The
And that was a
Alcoholics.
beautiful time.
Yeah,
Alcohol. It's the
yeah,
licks, baby. It's the
yeah.
licks.
Exactly. Souls of Mischief. Anybody in our era, we kind of bumped heads with them or seen them somewhere out because we was
Now,
we was known to do our thing on stage. So we was definitely gonna get the head nods and the handshakes after we got off stage because we set that well, we set it on fire.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can put this up, and we're gonna talk about it. Let me see. I gotta try to have him call. Hold on. Let me put this on. Uh, I gotta try to make sure the volume don't play. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna let this play, but I gotta turn the music off, and you give me
Mm-hmm.
some thoughts about this. Talk about it.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
video.
yeah. That's the Land of the Lost video right there. You know what I mean? Like I said, we was trying to do our thing. We was the first ones trying to bring out that new 3D technology. What's going on now with
That's
the
you right there.
animation? Yes, sir. If we would have had that Japanese animation, it would have been even crazier. But we was trying to break through with it. We was trying to, you know what I mean, do something different.
Mm-hmm.
That
And
was a
how
good
did they
time,
receive
man.
this song right here on the
Oh no,
stage?
they loved it. They loved it. You know what I mean? Everywhere we go, we still perform that song to this day. They still
Mm-hmm.
love it. It still gets a reaction. We still get the crowd going, and yeah, this was definitely one of them dope ones. It was just so early. It was before its time. I just wish that we could have did it now with all this AI and all this technology. It would have been crazier to hear what we saying actually being seen.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been dope.
Wow.
In the lost land, I like lanterns to explore the corridors and use
Come on.
portals to emerge to the surface floors.
Come
That
on.
visually, if you could see all what we saying, oh man, it'd be crazy.
Crazy,
Crazy,
man. All
crazy.
right. I've been trying to bring the perfect matchup, but it won't allow me to share it. So I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
bring another one up, okay? I'm going to take this down, bring, everything is Wi-Fi.
Right,
You
yeah.
just got to learn how to mess with the Wi-Fi. You be all right. And
Yeah,
okay, I'm going to bring
Land of
this
the
one.
Law.
All right, let me
Produced,
bring this one up.
produced by Lord Digger. Shout out Lord Digger.
I got to make sure I got the sounds off
Take a couple years
because they do not play with that.
to flex,
Mm-hmm.
always into gear.
Because, man, I sneak and play it, and then they
Yeah, yeah,
email
yeah,
me.
yeah.
All
Right,
right,
then they
break this
flag it.
down. All right, break this down.
All right, this the good dweller. So now that we did the Land of the Lost, you know what I mean, we was showing you our thing, what we was bringing to the table. Now we had to take it back to the hood, the good dwellers. We showing you, yeah, we about that life. We know what we talking about. We know where we come from. So this is more or less what everybody else was doing at the time, and this is our little spin, our little version of it. You know what I mean?
Yo,
For sure.
this is ill. You was
Good
always the
brother.
fly one. I know the
Yeah,
girls
yeah,
went crazy
yeah.
with you.
We
Tour man,
trying
what
to.
you call yourself back in the day? I remember you used to say, "Yo, Champagne, this the tour man." I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Okay,
That's the name, Phantasm the Tour
tour
Man.
man."
That's the name. That's definitely the name and the brand. But yeah, good
Yeah,
dwellers.
I
This is
think.
one of them joints.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this thing up because this was one of my favorites. So let me try it one more time to see if they let me load that thing in. I don't know why they're giving me a hard time with this one.
Mhm.
Because, this was the joy of
Yeah,
perfect combination.
yeah. So
No.
even with that, everybody, you need that one radio record to try to get you over the hump, try to get you some sales, try to stay in the loop with everybody else. So that was our version of it. That was our spin on it. So
hmm hmm
you
And
got to play the label game. You got to play the politics, and
well, let me
sometimes even
just
if you don't want to go that route, that's what you got to do to survive.
let everybody know if you need to see any of Cellar Dwellers videos, you just go to YouTube because this is
Oh yeah,
airing live on YouTube. But if I can't play anything and you want to hear the joint, the MP3s are underneath it.
yeah, yeah.
Just go
Definitely
look
go
up.
to YouTube, Cellar
Yeah,
Dwellers. It'll bring up our whole catalog, and there's a couple joints up there for you to listen to and hear.
and you will see this interview because this will be an archive on every platform. And starting
Nice,
September, I
nice,
will be going live on almost 8 platforms at a time. Right now, I'm going live on 3. So I'm
nice.
up in my game. So we're gonna be
Yeah,
all over everything because we're gonna show some homage for our pioneers and legends, and
we
we're gonna
have
give
to.
everyone a voice. Y'all could do all the famous people, but these the famous people in our era. You know what I mean?
There you
And they
go.
still famous.
There you
But you
go.
gonna pay them. You want to book them. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly.
And, all right, I'm gonna throw this other joint. Let me see if I can pop
Hmm.
this one.
Now, my dear.
We're still in this one. I remember last time we spoke, y'all was shooting a video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is what we did after a couple of years. We just had to come back with him, hit him hard. You know what I mean? Put something out. We needed another look, another video and song. So we just came back. You know what I mean? Took it back to the hood. Took it back where it
Mm,
started. 360.
that's right.
Go right
There
back
you
to where it
go.
all started. There
There
it
you
is.
go. Say your verse. Come on. Where you at?
This is what y'all want. Oh, it's been a long time. Been a long grind. Trust me, dog, you messing with the wrong kind. I'm older, wiser, still I keep a long nine. And
Mm,
keep a bad broad with me, need a long fine.
mm.
Y'all don't know gangster till we in your mama house. Torture no escape niggas, tying up your mama's spouse. Woo! Y'all don't want to
Ooh-wee.
play them games. I don't want to play them games. It get graphic after that, so I don't want to get
Yeah, I
too,
know
you
that
know what I mean?
underground. That
Yeah,
underground, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Hey, I would like to think this is an underground show, even though I come on Thursdays and Fridays with the news and all this, by myself, just to let people know I come on, so I can tell them that
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing interviews on any other days. Because you have to establish yourself, so people are like, well, where you at? They swear like they
Exactly.
don't see your post, and they see you. But just in case they don't see it, I make sure I say I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
dedicate myself to get up every Thursday and Friday, God willing, and just be on for an hour, chirping, talking crap. I like talking
Yeah,
slick.
yeah,
I'm
for
gonna talk
sure.
about the pilot, well, just the incidents that happen in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do my interviews, they gonna see the flyers, and then y'all gonna have 1 million people watching. Watch this is
Exactly.
gonna go to 1 million because when I start calling up my peoples, my legends and pioneers, they're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Where?" I'm like, "Listen,
Exactly.
I know so many people because we knew everybody coming through the radio,
Oh
everybody
yeah,
who they had to come see us."
yeah.
Speaking of my man, Special K for what?
Y'all was the stepping stone to the next level. So we had to
At
go
all.
through there. We had to
Yeah,
go through there.
I was talking to
But
my
that's
people.
the thing. Once people get to the next level, they forget about how they
They don't
got
come
there.
back. They
That's
don't
the.
come back. Like I always, I'm not gonna call nobody's name out, but I will. Like Positive K, I love you, but you don't
Mm-hmm.
be returning my. I go in their inbox. What you want, girl? What? Please, I'm your home girl, but I'll smack you. You know what I
Right.
mean? Don't
Right.
act. Don't ask a ditty with me, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna let you have it. I don't care if we don't ever speak again. Don't do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
call Awesome too. That's my homeboy. We we,
Yeah,
we,
yeah, yeah.
we text each
Definitely.
other all day long. Teddy Ted, Special K.
Yeah, Special K, Teddy Tell,
That's
shout
my
out to them. You know what
homies.
I mean? We've been through there a gang of times, so definitely shout out to them. You know what I mean?
And they deserve more recognition. They
Oh yeah, for
United
sure,
said
for
they
sure.
awards, they own major
Yeah.
radio stations. I said we pushed our legends and pioneers to the side like they don't matter. I said, well,
Mm-hmm.
we're waiting for someone else to do it. So we
Mm-hmm.
grab little shows like this and blow it up. Like a lot of people give Vlad their interview. Well, give
Right.
Champagne your interview. Why I gotta
Exactly.
beg you? You know what I mean? Vlad
Exactly.
call you up, you go run on his show.
You're
The
gonna run
art of
because that's
the dialogue. They wasn't even there. I was
e-
there.
exactly. And
We
see,
turned this. Mhm.
that's the thing. They wasn't even there when we was doing it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, and they get all the
now that
love.
they're popular and it's a look for them, that's where everybody want to go. So
Now check this out. You said now that they popular. We made them popular by showing up.
exactly.
They
Mm-hmm.
call them culture vultures. I said, well, y'all keep showing up. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
show up. We could create our own
We create our own.
and put our own people on, but we always run into people. I ain't messing with Champagne. Why? I didn't do nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but when this blow up, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
have everybody on it. And
Yeah.
I ain't gonna ever forget where I come from because
Now
I'm
you
a
change.
always like when you hit me up, say if we got a million subscribers, I'm like, yo, you could always come to my house
Right.
and eat. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
Champagne,
And,
I got something to promote. Come on. You know
and
what I'm
that and
saying?
that
I'll
and
tell you what day I'm available.
that's how it's supposed to be. That's how
Well,
it's
every
supposed
time
to
I
be.
hit you up, you always reply
Yeah,
back.
exactly. You know what I mean?
All the
I
time.
don't never get too big. I don't never get too
Never.
nothing. I'm like, yo, nah. That's
Look,
the
you
day. That's
never.
anybody who's there from day one, a sandbox. You gotta always go back, man.
Sandbox. You already
You
know.
gotta always go back. Yeah, yeah. We've been doing it too
I
long. We've been doing it too long.
I got a message from my homeboy Bilal. Well, I call him Ali Moo. Moo,
Mm-hmm.
let me put it up there. That's my favorite guy. It says peace to you, Champagne and Phantasm. Little typo. This
Mm-hmm.
was great interview. Definitely needed all of the breakdowns and levels to this grimy industry. Peace and blessing. One love.
For
Okay.
sure. For sure. Salute, Mo.
So that's Ali Moo.
Mm-hmm. Whoop.
He's an MC as well. Yeah, Ali Moo, Ali, and then Moo, MU,
Shout
Ali
out all
Moo.
the Mo. For real.
And he MCs too, And I just feel as though a lot of them didn't see what I did back then. So when they do stuff like this, they probably like, Champagne was telling the truth. I'm like, that's
Mm-hmm.
why we put the camera on our phone so we could show him all that stuff. And
Exactly.
when
Exactly.
uh, when the internet was starting, remember Hip Hop '88 was
Mm-hmm.
starting on the East
Mm-hmm.
Side. I was with
Yep.
Mecca because Mecca
Yep.
had a city college. I used to go up there and bring my groups. Then she had a show down in Hip Hop '88, and I used to go down and bring the groups. And so I used to have a job too, and I used to tell this guy on the job, "Oh, you can see video, and it goes across the world." And we was MCing. He said, "No, you're not. No such thing." I said, "They retarded, yo."
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
yeah, I was speaking from people from different countries on hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And now look
Exactly.
at us. We on the
Yep.
internet doing exactly what him and
Doing
I debated
exactly
about. I just stopped
exactly.
arguing that because I was on my job. I said, "You got mental illness." You know what I mean? Because they argue with you like you wrong. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
like
just told
right,
you I was
like
there.
you just straight lying. What I'm gonna lie for? What I'm gonna gain from lying?
That's why I wish we
Like,
had cameras on our phone. I could have shot pictures. I said, "You still don't believe it? You got problems."
mm-hmm.
And that's my point for me to
Exactly.
give you that example is to let you know that's how the young people doing us today. They act, they can't visualize because they was, excuse my language, but they wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
They wasn't even born, so they can't
Yeah.
perceive that we was doing all this. They just got it put in their hand because the internet is here. They don't have to. Remember, we had to walk up and down the street. We had to order flyers, by 5,000 flyers to promote an event.
Oh yeah.
All you need
Oh
is
yeah.
one flyer and put it on the internet and share it a million times.
Exactly. We used to go to radio stations in the blizzard. Like it's. I mean, you can barely
On
see in front of you. It's
Sundays.
so coming. We got a troop over there. Get the train. Get the bus. Whatever it means. Transportation to get up there to that radio station to promote yourself.
And
They don't.
always
They don't be
hungry.
doing that this day. Yeah.
I always wanted a slice of pizza, some White Castle. We was always hungry because we had
Mm-hmm.
to. It was crazy, and I said to myself, I met Mona Scott because of her nephew. He came to the radio station one day. He said, "My aunt is Mona Scott. She was at Def
Mm-hmm.
Jam." He said, "I could introduce you to her." I said, "All right, let's do it." He
Mm-hmm.
actually introduced me to her. So Mona
Wow.
Scott, she at Def Jam. She said, "Well, come up here and get some records." So we made a schedule. I went up to Def Jam, and young lady was at the desk. Everybody has a receptionist. Her name was Simone.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be nice to the gatekeeper, right? So I'm like, "What's
Yeah.
up, Simone?" She was K Slade manager at the time, right?
Wow.
And K
Wow.
Slade used to come up playing his tape. So when he made it, I told everybody, no, I witnessed him when he wasn't K Slade. He was at our show with his mixtape, so he deserved to get his name. God bless his soul.
Right.
And
God
so
bless the family.
Simone, we became cool because she had me waiting a little bit, and then we switched numbers, right? Because I'm Champagne and I'm trying
Mm.
to get in. I'm at Def Jam, and this young
Right.
boy, I
Right.
just
Right. Yeah.
put me in
Yep.
Def Jam, and I don't know
Mhm.
what I was gonna do, but I was gonna say I'm in Def Jam. So
Exactly.
Mona Scott came up to the reception. She told me go in, and I said, "All right, Simone." Went inside. I met Missy Elliott, Chris Lighty.
Wow.
I think it was Busta Rhymes, all in
Mm-hmm.
her office. She treated me so well. She let me come get records, and I took them back and played it. I
Wow.
all I had to do was call her to come up there. I didn't get no money from her. I wasn't on that deal with her. I just wanted to meet her, and be a Def Jam. I kept it just, because sometimes you bring up money, it makes it feel funny. So I didn't bring
Mm-hmm.
up money. I was like, all right, I got some records. So now I didn't know she lived in Jersey. So my other job at the time, I said, "You Mona?" She said, "Yeah." I said, She lived around where Latifah and them used to live back in the day. And I would see her often. Now we speaking while she going to work, and now we cool.
Mm.
So Mona Scott, a Violators, what's that, Violator
Violated.
Management,
Yeah. Violated. Yep.
is my homegirl now.
Nice. And
What's
and
up,
then
Champagne?
she went on to do Love and Hip Hop and and
There
a whole
you
bunch of
go.
other
She
big things.
created
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she told
Yeah.
me all she did was pull the curtains back. I was like, "Why a show like that?" She said, "All I did was pull the curtains back. This been going on. All I did was
Mm-hmm.
pull the curtains back." I said, "That was
Right. So
deep."
people could see it. Yeah.
And
So
she blew up. And she got
yep.
married. I started making little films. I made a hip hop, at my level, a hip hop independent film with Chilltown JC. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
easy. It was a lot of nonsense, but still I did it. And I
Right.
inboxed her. "Mona, it's Champagne." You know how on your inbox it could show you looked at it. She didn't
Right.
reply back.
All
I
right.
was like, Mona, I got a film I'm doing. I was wondering, what I need to do to try to get on your show or be a part of it, or can you direct me to, to get some
Yeah.
help? If I need help, can I be directed? Because this was years ago, but still, I was making film. If
Right.
I'm doing some wrong, let me know. You my
Right.
homegirl, right?
Exactly.
We from the tri-state, right?
Mm-hmm.
She would not reply back, and I just kept doing. I said, you know what? Let me leave her alone before she think I'm stalking her.
Right. Right. Right.
But that's what I mean
Yep. That's what
about
happens. That's what happens.
even on the front. I went on her page where she just put something down. I said, Mona, I said, you know what? She ain't feeling me. I'm gonna leave her alone.
Mm-hmm.
So Simone, I had Simone number. We became cool. That's how I became manager for K Solo and Rock from Helter Skelter because Simone at
Right.
the front desk. Remember, I got
Right.
her number. I didn't use it until after, later.
Right. Exactly.
So she introduced me to Rock from Helter Skelter. We got along, but we butted heads at a meeting. Boy, I ripped him up like he was my child. Because on our way to Red Distribution, I said, let me do the talking. Don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I called him on the phone. I'm managing Rock. He got songs. I could get him a deal.
Right.
The owner, everybody said, okay, bring him in. Because they didn't believe I managed him. You know how they bull
Yeah.
crapping.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't bring
They
an
don't even
artist to a
believe.
meeting. But I brought
Mm-hmm.
him to the meeting. But I schooled him like I was his mother. Shut your mouth.
Right.
Don't say nothing out of line. And don't try to cross me. All right, we get off the train. We go upstairs. Everybody jump to him, get his autograph, hold on. Because they're like, she's serious. They let us in the
Right.
room. You know, that big old conference room. We sitting there talking.
Mm-hmm.
So one guy to my left asked him how he feel like Red, how you felt like, how did you feel about Redman? You know what he
Mm-hmm.
said? He, all right. I said, oh, shit. It hit me because Redman is my man. He's from
right.
Jersey. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Even does. Yeah. For
I'm like,
sure.
and that was his cousin. We found out his cousin. I think he was a Jews guy. The Jews guy, all of them, and the brother, it was light skinned brother. I can't remember his name, but he was Redman's cousin. He said that's what he
Mm.
said. They all got up. We in the back room. We sat there, and they didn't come back. The
Wow.
deal was off.
Meeting over. Wow.
It was over. So I come downstairs with Rock. Boy, we started arguing in front of the train station. It could have been West 4th Street. I don't know where we was at. Or
Mm-hmm.
23rd, where we was at. I cursed him out. I said, didn't I tell you not to send them back? See, this is what's wrong with it today. You say
Right.
that with your boy smoking weed at home. You don't
Right.
come
Right.
into a meeting doing
I'm
that.
meeting saying that. Right. 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 Because you never know who's who and who's connected to who. So.
We was like this. I told you not to say that. But I
Mm-hmm.
blamed me for bringing him to the meeting. But I
Right.
brought him because they wanted to see if I really had him.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my lesson, not to ever bring an artist to a
Not
meeting.
very. Yeah. Exactly. If anything, just
We
get him on the
just
phone.
talked about it.
Yeah.
And,
And see.
and it blew the whole thing. So I never managed him after that. But we cool on Facebook. We be talking and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
I had K Solo. Or from Simone from Def Jam. Remember, lucky I got her
Mm-hmm.
number. That's how later on I met Jeff because I'm booking K Solo and he don't show up because he's hot. I don't care. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling my truth. And I said,
Right.
yo, where you at? Get to Jeff now because it was Zulu anniversary. You know, Jeff and the late DJ Yoda X was my plug in to get people on stage.
Right.
He didn't show up. So Jeff calling me or something like that. And I'm yelling at him because, the manager, not the
Mm-hmm.
manager, I'm the manager. Yo, get your blanket. You had me put my name on it. You didn't even show up. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
show up.
Wow.
So that's how Jeff and I became really cool because I apologized and I said, I'm going to make it up to you. Because people's waiting for K Solo, spelling the name backwards.
Okay,
The
so
mom's
right.
in my business.
Yeah.
Doing the
Spellbound, all
visits,
that stuff.
mom.
Yeah.
But they was on that boy. They
It
still
was a big
they was
deal.
on that stuff hard. And I said to Simone,
Mm-hmm.
Simone said to me, everybody that introduces you argue with him. I said, you're going to learn your lesson. You about to learn your lesson. So she introduced me to this other guy
Mm-hmm.
that's doing stuff for Rough Riders. We didn't get along the first day. I said, I don't mess with dudes like you. He got me rent a car to go out there to host a celebrity game. Then the guy he had an argument with, he let him come back in and take my place. And I spent all that money and I didn't get no money. Simone called me and said, I'm not introducing you to nobody else. I said, Simone, stop acting like you don't know what we go through in this industry. It's male
Right.
dominated.
If people just do what they supposed to do, it wouldn't be no
We ain't got no
arguments.
problem. Not even 2 years later, she calls me up. We connect on Facebook. Champagne, you was right. That pie face motherfucker. She was going on calling him pie face. He played me out in Atlanta. I just
Crazy.
said, it is what it is.
Yeah,
You know how some of these artists, they was hard to deal with. And
yeah,
they
a
ready to
bunch of them.
curse you out. And all you trying to do be a manager. I said, they was unmanageable. Some people
Mhm.
still today is unmanageable. Now we got the
Oh
internet.
yeah, for sure.
Do you have a manager?
Nah, we don't do management. We do like one offs. So it's
Which
like,
is, mhm.
all right, let's say you say, all right, we got I got a show for cellar dwellers. This guy's want to pay y'all such and such and such. We do that one deal with you, and you know what I mean, you get your percentage, whatever it's supposed to be, 10, 15%, whatever, and then we close that out. Now somebody else want to bring in the show,
Oh
whatever.
no, I do that.
So
Yeah, with Jeff.
yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
do that.
So
Like anybody could book you, and you
anybody
just give
could
them
book
that
you,
percent.
and
What's the
whoever,
name you
right.
called it? What was the name you
Huh?
called it? One off. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do one off. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could represent us for that one deal that you bring to the table. Or let's just say you got three situations or whatever. So we call it one offs because it's like this person could bring something, this person could bring something, and whoever brings in, you eat off of what you kill. You know what I mean? So if you bringing in something, yeah.
And that's the
because
way it should be. You know,
because a
you
lot of
should.
times with us with management too is like if we have a manager, but let's just say somebody calls me directly.
Uh-huh.
And I'll put a situation together. Now my managers talk about they want 10 or 15% of that, but you had nothing to do with this.
Uh,
You eat off of what you bring in. If you
I
can bring
agree
in
with
20,
that.
if you could bring in 20 shows, you're gonna eat off of all
Or
20
20.
shows.
I agree with that.
But
That's the new
you
era now. Back in the days,
right,
they were signed to you and they wasn't even booking you. You
right.
know,
Or they'll sign with you, but then they're not doing their job, and then certain situations will come in that has nothing to do with them. They not, but then they still want their 10 or 15%. You had nothing to do with this.
like my boy from Chilltown, JC,
Mm-hmm.
Cool Ray, not gonna be able to do it. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I'm not gonna
Exactly.
be able to do it. Shout
Exactly.
out to Ray, my
That's my
homeboy.
man too. That's my man too. I
I,
like that
I,
dude.
him and my mom's was cool. Both our mothers
Yeah.
passed on, but that was my homeboy from Chilltown. I lived out
Yes,
there too.
sir.
With the
I used
school.
to see him in the shadow. I used to see him in the shadows all the time. Back
That's my
way back
homeboy.
then. Yeah,
You
yeah.
still trying to call me
Good
by my
dude.
government name. I keep telling him I'm gonna start calling you by your government name. You keep it
Mm-hmm.
up.
Yeah, good dude. Good dude. Another good dude, man.
I
Another
know
good
his whole
dude.
family. And you know who his daughter is? Sharaya. She danced on Jay-Z. Give me what you got, lady. You ever see that girl in the circle dance?
Mm-hmm.
That's his baby daughter.
Okay,
And if
nice.
you look online, his daughter's named Sharaya. He got talented children. Well, you know, got a talented family. They used
Right,
to play
right, exactly.
baseball.
Mhm.
So if he didn't do this, he'd be in the pros because they was just
Yeah,
talented boys. Back then,
yeah,
the guys I knew was talented in sports and everything. They was just talented.
exactly. Exactly.
And
Double X posse. Double X posse.
yeah, my
Shout out to
boy Peter Barnes. What's up, Peter Barnes? He's
you.
the money behind it. And Sweet Slick and Slide, the first group, you know, the foundational group. Three of
Mm-hmm.
my main members are going. Well, actually, it's a few of them because you got DJ Victor Quick going. You know, you got Yusef going. You got Laurel Albial, one of the lead ones going. Then recently, Jimmy Mack, King Jimmy Mack. And then you have my warm daddy, Prince of Bads. I love all of them. And you know, Float's still here. He was one of the original DJ. Shout out to Nicky Barnes for Chilltown, one of the first DJs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my man Victor Quick, man, he used to have songs. Rock you to your hands and knees. I'm talking about my homemaker, Victor Quick. I said, man, we needed
Uh,
cameras on our phone. The girls
yeah.
went crazy, especially for Alabama. I got a video of him. I'm gonna start playing it when I do Chilltown. But once again, we have to show people where it all came from because they keep walking over like, oh, they just talking and talking.
Right,
I'm like,
right,
oh, we
right.
got
Yeah,
to
we've been
doing
doing this. We've
something.
been doing this for a long time, man.
The
Long
pioneers
time.
and legends of this, you
Yeah,
know,
a lot of dues been paid. So
you
a
know,
lot of
and
dues been paid.
so let me ask you this because you know, your fans out there is a lot of people watching us, and I'm like, they love you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you and UG brought two different voices and lyrical personalities to the group. How did you create that back and forth chemistry without either artist losing his individual identity? That's a deep one right there.
Right, but it just kind of came naturally. You know what I mean? We ain't step on each other's toes.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get mine's off. I know I'm gonna get mine's off. He know he gonna get his off, and
Hmm.
we just go for broke. You know what I mean? We compliment each other, and and we just gonna go get it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's
And
just the
like
bottom line.
you said, no one had egos. Everybody just
No one had egos. We both had a common cause, and we both established that early. Like, there's people who's gonna like you. There's people who's gonna like me. There's people gonna like your style. There's people gonna like my style. There's people gonna like your voice. People gonna like my voice. So whatever it is, just don't let it. You know what I mean? Don't let
go
it
to
get
your
to your
head.
head, and we and
Don't
we,
let
and
it
we
go
gonna be
to
all
your
right.
head. No.
There it is. That's
Brand
the
Nubian.
magic right there,
Brand Nubian. Um,
magic.
the point you just made is gonna go back. Some people gonna like you. Some people gonna like him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Red Bandit and I used to. That's how we made deals at the 105.9 FM, the Nighthawks radio show.
Mm.
People couldn't stand him, so he would send it to me so we wouldn't lose the deal.
Right. Exactly.
And whoever didn't like me, I sent him to Red. We didn't let him walk out the door.
Exactly. Exactly. And
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 Mecca
see,
used to.
that's how you conduct business. Because some people will
Hmm.
be like, well, if you don't like me, then F it, then
Thank you.
go.
But
Can you
Mecca
walk?
used to call us bad cop and good cop. I said that's how it's called balance. You don't let the money walk out the door if it's no argument. We not arguing with nobody. But he did
Exactly.
have one argument with Mr. Excitement. And that's how I
Mm-hmm.
met Lord Jamal from Brand Nubian, because they came
Mm-hmm.
upstairs. They was ready to fight Red Bandit, but I'm his co-host. I ain't gonna let
Right.
that go down.
Right.
And I was feisty back then, and I was real slim, but I was like, listen, what's the problem? Because I'm trying to make the deal. I'm trying to
Exactly.
close the deal. There ain't no
Exactly.
fighting up here. So the guy had took care of his advertisement bill with Red Bandit, and the guy didn't show up. Well, we have a rule here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no refunds, but you could show up on another day. He said, "No, I want my
Right.
bread back." I said, "No, once you pay for advertisement, you didn't show up because technically the law says if you didn't show up, you renege the deal. But he's
You
not
reneged
trying
it.
to renege the deal. He's trying to rebook you."
Right.
So I step in because Lord Jamal came in the fight. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I always thought he was cute. So I was like, woo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking Lord Jamal from Brand Nubians.
Right.
And I said, listen, why don't we just, you come next Saturday and you get on? And we made the deal. So today when I talk to Mr. Saitman, we always cool because of that. I said, because,
Right.
let's be rational, have rational mind about this. You didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
We was here. And then we all got along after that because some people think because they pay for something, they could curse you out.
Right.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
If you come up here with all that riffraff, and he didn't Red Bandit, he's from Brooklyn too. I think I went to Brooklyn with him and his wife back then. I think
I,
he was from
I'm not
Brooklyn
sure
too.
where he's from, but he might be.
Yeah, he
He
was in
might be.
Motown and everything. And I think
Mm-hmm.
we drove to Brooklyn one time to make some cassette tapes. And but he was serious. But I be inbox him. He don't return no inbox. Because
Right. Right.
I kicked him in the butt one day when he didn't let me in that day when you let me in the Javits Center. The
Uh-huh.
next Saturday, I saw him laying on the floor in the studio room where we was about to come on. I said, "Bah!"
Mm-hmm.
I kicked him, leaving me outside. He could have
Right. You
killed
leave
me,
me out
but
there. Right. Right.
I kicked him so hard because we put up money for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so mad he didn't open that door. And when I went up there, he had like he didn't know me. When you let me in that door, I
Right.
went upstairs. I was a pure stranger. I said, we
Wow.
don't all chipped in. What's the deal? I just left it
Right.
alone. And
Mm-hmm.
so, that's I always think of Nas, hip hop is dead. Because
Right.
your own people
Yeah. Sometimes it be
is
your own
not.
people getting away. Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
could have blew up with the mixtape because Justo was doing mixtape at the Apollo. He
Mm-hmm.
passed away in a car accident, but he was
Right.
one of the first
Yeah. He was
persons did
doing
the
the
mixtape
mixtape
awards.
awards for awards.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's who I thought I met at Loud. But what's the other
Mm-hmm.
label next to Loud? There was another one with the foot in the air. You had Loud, but there was one more where I met Malachi and him. I just can't remember it.
Yeah. I
But
can't remember either.
yeah, because I can't remember. It'll come back later. I probably got called up Chill Rob G. He remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh
Chill
yeah.
Rob
Shout out to
G.
Steel Rob G. Yeah.
That's my homeboy. We went to high school.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you a story how I used to give him his first. I tried to give him his first MC name. He said, "Nah, I'm not calling myself that." Rob is
hmm
funny though, yo.
Yeah.
Rob, what you
Always,
doing? I'm
always,
chilling.
always,
What I
always a
supposed to be
dope
doing? I'm
MC.
chilling. That's what
Yeah.
I do.
Dope MC, dope voice.
Oh
Got
yeah,
the yeah.
man, he's so underrated. He got the flow
hmm
of his song. This
Oh yeah.
court now in session. Boom, boom. Now get back to Cellar Dwellers.
hmm
You say still today you're all over the world doing shows. What's your favorite place to do shows in this era? 19. What's it? No, we 2026. You heard me 19. You put me so back. I went back to 19 in 2026. What are some of the places you perform that you wouldn't mind going often? I know you said overseas, cause you do one or two or three shows, and or in United States. You know, what's your favorite place to
Um,
go?
don't really have a favorite, but we've been doing the South American market for a little while now. For some
Wow,
reason, they've been showing a lot of love. They've been booking us, and Colombia has been good to us. You know, what I mean, we've been to Medellin, we've been to Bogota, we've been
wow,
to we've been to Santiago, Chile, and we getting ready to go to Ecuador in October. So
what?
that whole South American
Damn,
market,
I want to go too.
they've been showing us a lot of love. We might be doing Mexico,
Hmm.
and we might have Madrid, Spain coming up too. So yeah, it's they've been just showing a lot of love. So we be just touching down and doing our things and waiting for other opportunities to open up.
Okay, here's another one. Our home girls. Can you give a shout out to Anna Redding? She's in the industry. She said, "Good afternoon, Ms. Champagne and Phantasm."
Hmm.
Give her a shout out. You can see her on the
Shout out,
screen.
shout out, Anna Redden. How you doing? Salute.
Uh huh. She's a photographer. She's doing other things. And I like to show people love here. Everybody's part of this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no
There's
doubt.
no
Everybody tell.
egos. We
Nah, no
family
egos
here.
at all. No egos at all.
You know, look, who's in here with me? No egos, no alter egos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a black chick. You know what I mean?
That's
I'm
it.
just a black chick, a soul sister number one. She said, I'm good in you. Salute. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the people sharing this because when we get up, they're going to be sharing this all over the what? Internet universe. And people going to say, there go my man,
Mm-hmm.
Phantasm. Woo!
Yeah.
How you get your name, Phantasm? What it means?
The name.
Because I know fantastic, but you Phantasm.
Phantasm. Yeah, well, it actually came from the movie Phantasm.
Oh,
There,
okay.
there was a movie called Phantasm. The main character, his name was a tall man.
Oh,
And
okay.
when I first got into the industry, I'm like 6'2", but everybody who I was around for some reason was just small. So I don't know why. The first couple of dudes I met, like Father MC, I met Guru, I was around a bunch of dudes, Das Effects, and they was just small little dudes. And I'm Mobb Deep, and I'm like, I'm one of the tallest. It wasn't until I met some of the members of the Wu Tang that was actually my height or better in rock, you know. But
Mhm.
everybody who I met was small, and I just thought Phantasm the Tall Man, that it was just a dope name
That
for that.
is a dope name, Phantasm the
Yeah.
Tall Man. Ooh,
And
ooh,
then it goes
ooh.
along with the whole underground cellar dweller, that whole, you know what I mean, that whole schematic right there. So it just made sense because I was going by Star Child before. I knew there was a
Mm,
DJ Star Child, but there was
yeah,
never a MC Star
yeah,
Child.
I'm
So I
familiar
was
with
going
him.
by that, but then I
Yeah,
switched it.
Star Child. Um,
Hmm.
if a label, a major label, came and said, "I would like to distribute your next album," what would you say?
Yeah, as long as the terms is right, yeah, we could go.
Oh, okay,
We could go. Yeah, as long as the terms is right, we could go.
but not to be on the label, just for distribution. Which one you prefer,
Yeah,
or is it one or both?
either one, to be honest. Either one, to be honest.
Okay,
But like I said, the terms got to be right. As long as the agreements and that paperwork is right, we could make something happen because we here for the people. We here for the art form. It ain't about, like you said, it ain't about egos. It ain't about, oh, I need this, I need that, I need $1 million. It's not like,
give me
just
that. Give me
just
some
make
fried
it.
chicken backstage. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just make it make sense. And if it makes sense, let's go with it.
Yeah, if it makes sense, then it makes dollar sense. You know what I mean?
There you go. There
And
you
see,
go.
that's what's wrong with some of the deals back in the day. The knowledge you can obtain by the internet today, you don't get as jerked as quick. See, back in the day,
Exactly.
you got jerked because of
Mm-hmm.
you had to go actually to a library and read it. I used to go to ASCAP every week. They have
Mm-hmm.
free seminars where we go up there and learn about publishing. That's why I think I'm so good. And I told you my late mother had told me go learn it, so I'm very fluent with it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of artists didn't do that. Smoke a weed, get on stage, your manager running things. That was that era. But it's a new era where people learning to copyright their song,
Right.
register your songs with ASCAP BMI. Who you down with? ASCAP or BMI?
BMI.
All right, I'm ASCAP. And so they didn't understand it. I was telling a gentleman the other day online, my first thing is to copyright my lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, no, no. They don't understand the procedure. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to say what I
But
have to say. And like Farrakhan said, either you believe it or you let
right.
it alone.
That's it.
Because
That's
I'm not
it.
forcing no water down your throat. I'm gonna put the water here. If you sip on it because you're thirsty, good for you. But if I gotta
Right.
force it down your throat, we ain't gotta talk. You know what I mean?
There
And
there you go.
because I truly believe it's important to copyright your lyrics. Do
Yeah, it
you?
is because because somebody could steal an idea or take something from you. So
Hmm. And then the
it's
next thing you
over.
do with songs, what do you do after you copyright? I go to ASCAP and register them to make sure they know where my songs at. Because I always tell people ASCAP and BMI is a collection agency. No, they not.
Mhm.
Well, how they gonna collect your money and give you royalties if they don't know what's out there and who
Right.
where to go?
Right. They don't know. They don't know where to send your money. So
And I just got a royalty. What's this? What month is this? I'm bugging. Uh, August. No, it was
August.
yeah. Oh, it was international. It was
Hmm.
small, but it was my money. I make beats for national TV,
Right.
and so I got in that in 2000. That's when I was telling you I signed them people to those deals, Pudgy the Fat
Hmm.
Bastard,
Right.
and I'm that guy who we met. They introduced us to sinking. First, I was signing people, getting jerked. So another friend introduced me to a guy from California. He's from Connecticut, but I chased him for a whole year before he respected me.
Mm.
And then one day he said he's a Jet fan. I said, I'm a Jet fan too. And I said, what's your size? Because I was just looking at something. They said, sometimes you got to buy people something and look out for them to
Right.
warm up. I said, what size you wear? What size your woman wear? I went to 42nd Street. They had models. I'm kind of crazy. I use my rent money and bought all this stuff, sent the next day service. Not even 30 seconds after him receiving it, I got a deal.
Wow. See,
I've been on this deal. I
sometimes
get royalties
you gotta go
every
with your
three
gut
months.
and go with your gut and just go with that feeling. That was on your heart and you did it and it worked for you.
And I had jobs, so I got paid every week, so I was going to make the money back. And let me tell you something. I wouldn't recommend people do that today. It's a different world.
No.
It's homeless time. Rent is
Mm.
$3,000, and you need what? Triple the amount. You got to pass a
Hmm.
background with criminal. You got to pass a background with eviction. Because some of the
Hmm.
rappers and MCs, I think they're homeless because they didn't secure their future. What you think? Hmm.
Yeah. Not a lot of them are not doing as good as you think they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's
Well,
always a thing too. It's always a fake it till you make it kind of thing. So,
a lot of them in trouble because back then we kept jobs.
hmm.
I paid for everything. I didn't ask for nothing free. We kept jobs and we went out to the club or whenever we have to work. I didn't leave my job to go do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now I
Right.
have a pension. You understand? And I
Hmm.
said to people, these like I have a nephew in the music. He inboxed me this little thing. He said, all I need is this and I gotta make payments every month. Hey, what you think Auntie said?
Right.
I said, you gotta get jobs, son.
You
He
got
didn't
it.
call me
Yeah.
back yet.
Hmm.
He said, I said, we worked to get what we wanted. Nobody get now if I had a lot of money, I start you off by saying, okay, get your job. I help you get a job. Your license messed up. I help you get your license right. I do stuff like that.
Right.
And then, like Karos One did to his brother Kenny Parker, it's on YouTube. His brother graduated from college, and he said, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He just graduated. He said, which one do I make beats or something like that? I don't know. I'm just, how you said,
Hmm.
paraphrase it. And he brought him, what's that, the MP3? Because I know you
Yeah.
make beats. We're gonna get into it.
Yeah. The SP 1200.
Yeah, SB 1200.
Hmm.
And he went out and bought him one and gave it to
Hmm.
him. He said, I don't know how to use it. This Kenny Parker and
Yeah.
Karis
He said
One, his brother.
you better learn it. Learn
And
how to
what did
use.
he do? He learned it. And now he's one of the
Yeah.
best producers and DJs out there. And that's what I
Hmm.
was trying to tell my nephew. I'm going to support you, but I'm not going to enable you. You know what I
Right.
mean? Even with my daughter, if you want something, I'm supporting you, but I'm not going to enable you
Right.
because
You
no
still got
one
to put
gave
in.
me nothing.
Right. You
Hmm.
still got to put in that work. Once I set it up, you still got to put in that work.
And that's what the MCs and DJs and a lot of people don't understand today. It still work. Even though the internet's here, you still got to work it. You can't say,
Hmm.
oh, do this for me and keep calling me. If you keep calling me, you want me to do the work. That's not going to
But
happen. Well, hold it. I'm going to have to keep mentioning Ray. I'm not going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Ray going to think, okay, like, yo, you put me on the map. Listen, you put yourself on the map. I love you.
right.
Um,
Hmm.
so you believe in the same thing about, even though it's the internet, they still got to put it in work.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You got to. You got to. And everything in life. Period. Somebody could
Now,
open the door for you or whatever. You still got to put in that work.
well, let
So,
me start some trouble. Who put in the most work, you, G, or you?
we both equal amount of work,
See,
equal
that's
amount
a
of work,
great answer. See, that was
equal
a great
amount of work.
answer. You
Yeah.
didn't feed into it.
No,
That
no,
was a
no,
great
no.
answer. Uh-huh.
Nah, 'cause we both put in the same amount of work. But like I said, there's some people who may like what he do a little bit better or whatever, whatever.
Right.
But we both put in that work. And
I
you know what I
dig
mean?
that.
I'm a very secure person at the end of the day. So
I love you for that.
I already know what I can do, how I can do it, when I can do it. If you don't recognize it, then so be it. I don't got no point to prove. I already know what it is. So
What's that group? Let's move. We ain't got nothing to
nothing
prove.
to
What's
prove.
that? The
Let's
Food
move.
Snickers?
Food Snickers. Shout out Food Snickers. They from my hood too. Shout out
Oh,
Food
what? They
Snickers.
from Brooklyn?
Yeah, they
Let's
from
move.
Flatbush. They from my area. So
I
yeah,
don't know why I thought
definitely
they was
shout
a
out to
Cali
them.
group. Uh-huh.
No, no, no. They from
Let's
Brooklyn.
move.
Flatbush,
Right?
Brooklyn.
See,
Yeah.
that's why interviews like this important because
Yeah.
let's move. We ain't
Yeah.
got nothing to prove. Let's
Those
move.
those
We
my
ain't got
peoples right
nothing to
there.
prove. Uh-huh.
Yeah. They from my
Now,
hood.
I'm gonna take it back a little bit more to our conversation. Perfect Match. Why you think Perfect Match was a big joint? I know you was on a Ricky Lake and all that. Why you think
Mm-hmm.
that resonated so quickly with people? Because it was who produced it and why you think it was so like
That was
woo powerful?
that was produced by my man Nick Wiz out of Teaneck, New Jersey.
Nick
Shout out Nick
Wiz.
Wiz. Yeah, he's a dope producer. And it was just, at the time, Ricky Lake was a big show. The whole talk show thing was big. It was new. Jenny Jones was it was a whole thing going on with the talk shows, and we just came up with a concept to where it's like, most dudes think, all right, we got all the chicks, we the players, all the broads is on us. We made it like, yo, the chick played both of us. She had him
That
and
was
she
deep
had me, and she played us. So we just put a whole different spin on it, and it worked. You know what I mean? People was messing with it. So
because they always see the guy as cheating, but
right,
they
it's
didn't know
always
a
the guy
woman
is the
cheat
one,
too.
and all the women after him. The chicks are all on us. Well, now we put a whole spin. Yo, she played both of us.
That was very slick because that's all I can remember. Um, Red Bandit played it too. We
Mm-hmm.
loved it. We played a lot of instrumentals so we could talk over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and when I
dope
hear
beat.
that song,
Yeah,
you
dope
know my
beat, dope
family,
concept,
everything.
dope record. Yeah.
Yeah, because on radio you got to talk over instrumentals. So we was like,
Mm-hmm.
open conversation.
Yeah, that
Woo,
joint
woo,
bang.
woo. I know everybody always did
That's a
that with
bang.
UG when he go. I thought that was you at first till I watched the video when you said, ooh, 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 but that was UG,
Yeah,
and I said,
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was you
Yeah.
all this time, and I'm watching
No.
the video,
Mm-hmm.
But I said to myself, I love the fact that still today y'all have respect for each other. And the
Mm-hmm.
thing you said about it's no ego. If you want to shine, shine. Just make sure my mind is mine. My money on
Right.
time is in
'Cause
line. It's not
my
rhymed.
my thing is this too. If people like Phantasm, they're gonna say I like Phantasm from the Cellar Dwellers. If people like UG, they're gonna say, yo, I like UG from the Cellar Dwellers. But guess
But
what?
still the cellar dwellers.
That Cellar Dweller name is still the
A
bottom line.
brand.
That's what's being mentioned. So as long as the attention is going to the group, I don't care where it come from.
And see, that's why a lot of people in groups need it. Like what you're saying, I wish they had artist development. They was trying to
Mm-hmm.
give them, but I think they was giving it to from these guys who didn't come from our towns, jobs that understood us. They was trying to come into our genre of music. Because when I was going
Right.
to the labels like Tommy Boy Records and all of them, yeah, they had a few people in there that knew what they want. But I said they wearing suits and ties. I'm like, this is street. You can
Yeah.
do that in the back office, but when you talk about street team, it got to be street mind. Because
Mm-hmm.
relatively, when you mentioned relatively records early, it was Rich Kid. That was my homeboy, man.
But
I wonder where he at. I would love to interview. So many stories. I went out to How Can I Be Down and Jack the Rapper. So I met
mm-hmm.
these guys down at How Can I Be Down. That's when I signed Fubu to that magazine. I got them the back cover. And
Yeah.
so these guys was watching me in the lobby. You never know who's watching. So
Yeah.
they came up to me, yo, man, Miss, what's your name, man? I said, Champagne. He said, we watching you and we want to get to know you. They looked like Run DMC, but
Mm-hmm.
found out they was from Gary, Indiana. Because, Run DMC had passed on the hat, the big chain. They wasn't really doing
Yeah.
that no more. And so
Exactly.
we was like, yo, yeah, Run DMC, because I always got a big-ass mouth. I had to be careful because I'm like, what is Run DMC coming up to me? And I got a picture with Jam Master J new group was there, and Kevin Keith was there from the 30 Dozen. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, what y'all want to know about? We need to give you a card. So we switched cars, and I brought them up to New York and New Jersey. I had an apartment in New Jersey called Big Time Mansion. I let them stay there. And my old man
Mm-hmm.
was like, imagine if I met some girls and brought them back. I said, it doesn't matter. This is music. Nobody being fresh to me. Nobody was being fresh. But they wanted to
Right.
come to New York, and I set them up a week's tour. I took them to Flavor Unit Records, okay? And don't you
Mm-hmm.
know they laughed me out the meet? They said he corny.
Oh, wow.
They started eating
Wow.
Chinese food in front of us. I said, man, and this before the country rap came.
Right.
I brought them way before, it happened. And then I brought them
Mm-hmm.
to the station, 105.9. You know who cursed me out? Um,
Who the?
Silver Surfer.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
Silver
yeah, yeah.
Surfer?
Yeah, I remember
He
him. I
saw me
remember
at World
Silver.
Trade. He said, Champagne, don't you ever bring no countrymen to New York in the station. I said, what are
Mm-hmm.
you crazy? What they do? They was nice guys.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I was getting blackballed, kind of, getting cursed out. So I took him to a club that night, and guess what? I booked him that night. Those
Wow.
girls fell all over these boys.
Mm-hmm.
They did a song with the Isley Brothers. Down, 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 down. Remember that? Smoking
Mm-hmm.
summer breeze. That beat.
Yes,
This
on
the
bridge.
word.
Yeah.
This the words they were saying. Smoking weed
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel
Amazing.
fine.
Wow. Dope,
Relax
dope.
my mind. And I said, the crowd went
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. And
It was it.
that song will probably blow right now. That song, that
Right now,
concept right
it'll
there
blow.
will probably blow. Yeah.
And then it was one name span. The big guy was Big Boo, and the young guy with the hat, Cowboy. I wish I could run into them today. They from Gary, Indiana. They call it West Calumet. I wish I could see them today. Boy, they ripped it. And then I took them to another place for them. And then when it was time for them to go home, they said, Champagne, thank you. Thank you. Because I thought I could sign
Mm-hmm.
them to a deal. And 10, 20
Right.
years later, I'm down. And then Silver Surfer, we speak because I ran into Hank Love, because Rock and Ron passed away. So, I ran into
Mm-hmm.
Hank Love. We on the phone. And he told me he had Silver Surfer number. I said, give it to him. I'll call him. I called him. You know what Silver Surfer said? He said, Champagne, I owe
Mm.
you an apology. I said, for what? Because it's years. I'm not even thinking about that.
Right, right,
He said, I was just talking to my mother about you. I said, your mother? I never met your mother. He said, I
right,
was just saying, Champagne brought us to South Boys. We could have been rich right now if we had to listen to her.
right. The guy would have been the first ones that pioneered that.
What they doing is what Twister doing. They
Right.
ripped it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it when I was down there, when the How Can I Be Down, Jack the Rabbit, all that. I saw it because I know
Yeah.
talent. And
Mm-hmm.
for Silver Surfer, when he said that, I felt so good. Even though it was too late.
Wow.
Because
Right,
remember,
right.
he's
But
the one who
it
cursed me
just,
out. Hmm.
just let you know that your right. It let you know that your ear was there. You was on point.
He said all we had to do was follow your
Shout
lead.
out to Peter Thomas too.
What's his
Yeah, Peter
name?
Thomas was the one who put How Can I Be Down. Peter Thomas.
Oh, that was his
He
name,
put that
Peter
whole
Thomas.
thing together.
Is he
Yeah.
still here with
I don't
us?
know if you know. Yeah, yeah. He from Flatbush. He from Brooklyn too. He out
I
in
need to talk to
I think
him. Put me in.
he out in Miami right now. Yeah.
I
You ever
need to
seen
talk to
the
him.
Housewives? The Housewives, the black dude who was on Housewives?
I didn't watch it since the beginning of that Mona Scott, but I'll look at it.
Okay, yeah, but
What is it?
yeah.
Miami Housewife, and his name Peter
No,
Thomas.
it was the older one. He was married to that model chick, but his name is Peter Thomas. He the one who put How Could I Be Down together.
I gotta
That was
connect with
him.
him because I would love to interview
Yeah.
him because I
Oh yeah,
had so
he got
much
stories for
fun.
days.
I
He
had
got
so
stories for
much
days.
fun. It
Mm-hmm.
was packed out there. The only problem I saw was people putting stickers on people's windshield, and I think that's when it
Oh
changed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They put
And I
tickets
said, now that's
everywhere.
yeah. And
Everywhere.
I said, you don't put on people's windshield. You know what I mean? And
Everywhere.
that's
Everywhere.
hmm and I could tell you right now, that was the days. That was the days when they gave them big show. People came from all over the world. Like
All over. All over.
Zulu Nation, when you had people all over the world come in November for 4 days. It was
Mm-hmm.
similar to that.
Oh
And
yeah.
we flew down to the radio. We paid our way, but the radio took us down. I met so many people. I felt so good because they loved
Mm-hmm.
music.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
walking up and down. That's the only times in Miami. I got some old pictures somewhere around. And I met
Mm-hmm.
Doc, the DOC. He sat at the table with us and ate. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, it was just beautiful. I missed
Yeah, it
that.
was a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
I
Yeah,
missed
I
that.
got on jet ski. I got on jet skis for the first time doing one of those.
But
Lot of
that's
fun,
the
lot of experiences. Yeah.
well, this like you see all the interviews on YouTube, they telling their stories. We got to come on Ms. Champagne Evolution podcast and tell our story because we had some good time. We did a lot of business,
Oh,
but we also had a lot of music friends that was just cool. Yeah, we had some crazy, Dylans, and
oh,
we had some good
yeah,
ones
yeah,
too.
yeah. A lot of bumps and bruises, but for the most part, we landed okay. We
All
landed
right,
okay. We still tell it, so that's what it is.
well, this thing I have right here, I'm gonna make you laugh. When I switch the subject, I play this. Ready? You heard it? It's my
Okay.
whoosh. Let me play it again. Play the loud one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard it. Uh-huh. Yeah,
Production. Let's talk about your production. You make some beats, boy. Talk to us.
yeah. We definitely got some heat in the stash. I'm trying to put some stuff together now. To like you said, do the licensing thing. So I'm trying to get some stuff on these Netflix and Hulu's and just
Oh, you
create
trying to
some of the
do it?
background. Yeah, I'm trying to do that
Uh-huh.
now. So I'm
I'll give
making
you.
some beats, making some little shorts. So
Mhm.
like me,
Well, I'll give you some
I
leads.
always
I'll
like
give you some leads. I don't know what they do now because they're switching their website, but I'll give you some leads. See, in the beginning, it was easy for me to sign you, but now it's so tight, so many people. But I'll give you what I have,
mm-hmm.
and you can use my name to get in there. But it just
Oh,
when you're making beats for TV, it's not like how beats we make for hip hop because
right,
number
right.
one, there's no sampling. It gotta
No
be all.
sampling.
Being that you make your own beats, you can understand the difference. There's no
Yeah, 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 for
sampling.
sure.
It's strictly original beat. You know why? Because they can't sell a sample beat
Right, right.
because
They
of
can't. Yeah,
copyright
because they
infringement.
don't want the other
So
artists coming back to claim it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and the
Mm-hmm.
type of deals they have is 50-50. They don't own your stuff. You always own it, but they'd sign a contract either exclusive or non-exclusive. My first deal
Yeah.
was non-exclusive, but when they grew, I started signing. They asked me, did I want to become an exclusive? That means the beats I gave them every month, and they
Mm-hmm.
put it in the dashboard. It's the only beats I get them. I can't let no one else use the beat. I was cool with that. I
Right,
make a
right.
file, and I just put their name on it, and it goes there. I can make other
Mm-hmm.
beats for whatever.
Right,
And once I learned that even though it's grocery money that comes in, because I don't put a lot into it because I'm doing so many things.
right.
When that grocery money come in, I'll be like, man, that money
Oh
look
yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah. It's appreciated. Yeah.
One
'Cause
time, I got
I have one of
seventeen hundred
I have one
dollars
of my
one time when I first started. I was like, whoa,
mm-hmm.
you know. So
Yeah,
sometimes you get low, some get, but if you into it, you get paid. They don't pay you what you're supposed to because there's a man named Paul Williams suing them about streaming. We should be getting paid big numbers. I hear my music all over the TV.
right.
My check should be big. That's a big TV show. I
Right,
heard
exactly.
it on what's his name, Cisco, one day on Facebook. I don't really mess with Cisco, but one day I was on Facebook and I said, "Oh, it says 20 minutes. Let me check out his interview."
Right.
So I'm watching the interview, like because Cisco was hot, but I'm just not into him like on a
Right.
regular basis.
Uh-huh.
I said that beat sound familiar. I kept saying I know that beat.
Right.
I said, man, I know that. So now I'm doing my research. It was my beat. It was called
Wow.
More. I made a beat called More. You know
Mm-hmm.
what we love.
Yeah.
You already know. And so I call the licensing company because when his film went off, it's like 20 minutes
Right.
document, and it's on YouTube now. But I saw it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
He had millions of views. I said, "Oh, my check gonna be big, right?" I said, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
my check gonna be big." But when the credits went off, I didn't see my name. I saw the
Right.
company name. So I didn't want to email him because you get blackballed telling the truth.
Right.
But I couldn't sit with it. 2 days went past, 3 days. I said, hell no, I'm gonna ask them. So I emailed them. It's an artist thing where you can email them. I said, hey,
Mm-hmm.
how you doing? I'm trying to be nice and not rough. And I said, I just saw my beat on Cisco documentary, and I just saw your name. I didn't see my name. I said, is it the reason why my name didn't get down as the credit? You know what I mean? Oh no, they
Mm-hmm.
don't just put our names. I said, why? I made the
Right.
beat. You
Exactly.
can put both of our names down,
Mm-hmm.
but just to put your name and not mine, I don't get
Yeah.
credit for that.
Right. Exactly.
I said, that's a hustle. He didn't get back to me for 3 days. And I said, oh shit, they're gonna kick me off the deal, right? I was nervous because I made sure I wasn't hostile
Right,
because
right.
people will kick you off.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt me that they wouldn't put. I said it should be mandatory that all artists beats you use, name, go, everything. Now, when I look into ASCAP, so I went into my ASCAP, I saw how many minutes it played on it. Almost 2 minutes it played. That's a big check.
Yeah, yeah. They should have cut something for that. Definitely.
And they get 50 and I get 50. So if I got $2, they got $2. But I'm like, why my name? Remember what I told you about Fubu early? My name got to go on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only
Yeah,
thing was thinking. You got to be careful, make sure you get your credit because these companies, they want to get the credit for your beat. You know, we could go up there together because we're doing a
yeah.
50-50 deal, but you're not going to leave my name off. Because, like
Uh-huh.
you said earlier, if Fubu mentioned my name one time,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't got to give me money. I eat. Because people say, oh, I saw your name.
Right.
You know how many
Exactly.
views that first day I watch it? Imagine how many views you go on YouTube. You see, probably got 100 million views.
Exactly.
That's a check. And
And,
that's
and
a,
and if you don't give me my credit, at least pay me for it. That's the whole thing too.
yeah, I want both
You gotta
I
yeah.
made a deal with the company and they agreed that I'm getting 50%. And
Right.
I want my credit because if I didn't make a deal with them, I don't need your money. But we have a real
Exactly.
contract, signed and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, once we have that agreement, we got to stick to it.
Yeah,
Because
because
if I don't
I
get
did it.
it,
I did a situation with Hulu when the Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee show was on Hulu. They did
yeah,
it, that little series. Yeah, they had one of my joints and they paid me and it was decent. So I said, you know what, I want to do more of this stuff instead of trying to put out music. I just want to create some beats that go behind the scenes, and the kind of films and stuff like that. So
when
now I'm
was
just trying
that?
to create. That was a couple years ago.
You
That
got
was
to
a
get
couple
into
years
it.
ago.
I know you're
Yeah,
gonna
so
make a lot of money. Uh huh.
now I'm building a whole folder. I got a folder and I'm gonna have like at least 15 to 20 beats. And then cause I like to do the work first. I like to have everything there and then I go through the paperwork and trying to find out. But once I got the
Right.
15 established, then I'm gonna go from there. I want 15 solid beats that I know for sure is good to go, and then I'm going.
Uh-huh.
Then I'm going for this.
Now,
And
when I first got
I'm at like
down,
6 or 7 now.
oh, okay. When I first got down with them, they only need two of my best beats to give me a deal, right? Once I told you I did
Right.
a deal with the guy and got him the jet stuff. But
Mm.
now at one point, probably 4 or 5 years ago, they was allowing us to upload 30 beats. I did it a couple times. I said, this is too many. I'm too busy. I can't do
Right.
this.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those type of. I'm a beat maker. I'm not a full blown producer. I'm like, I
Right.
can't do it. It's just too
Mm-hmm.
much. It's now I'm just making beats just to get on,
Right.
and they
Mm-hmm.
spit you off. If your beat's not tight, they be like, nah, we good. Even when you load it, now we good. And if later they see they got a guy in there, nope, they're sitting back and I got over 1,000 beats on there. That's a lot of, it should be a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
a lot
money.
of music up there. Yeah.
But I've been down with them for years. That should be big. And I signed so many people. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people. But they was beating me. And then the lady said, you want me to show you how to make money? She worked at the office in New York because they got about 4 or 5 locations. I said, yeah, because they keep beating me. Because I have to try
Mm-hmm.
and get my 10% up front. She
Right.
said, let me tell you how to make money in this company. She, I'm listening. She's a Jewish lady.
Mm-hmm.
She said, learn how to make beats. So I went to YouTube and started learning how to make beats on FL Studio.
Yeah.
Next you know,
There
I
you
had
go.
a deal, a non-exclusive. My first royalty
Go.
check was $25. I was like, oh, I got
Yeah.
$25. And then the
It's a
next one was
start. It's a
growing.
start. Yeah.
Now,
It's a start.
20-something years, I still have a contract with them. And,
Mm-hmm.
the check varies, but when I die, I go to my grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
said, because it's a lifetime thing.
It's a
It's not.
lifetime. It's like, right. And as long as they're
And I
using
know
your
you
music,
can make a lot of money. This what
yeah.
you do. I heard
Mhm.
your beats, man. They tight. And I
Yeah.
said, you can make a lot of money. And don't
Yeah.
forget, this is just one company. If you get with those companies that give you the 2 and 3, 4,000 up front,
Mm-hmm.
and you get royalties, man, that's butter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
that's what I'm trying to look into for 2027.
oh, you got
I'm
to
gonna
get
really
down
get
here.
activated and try to make that happen.
Yeah, because now they just say you are eligible to put up 10 beats. I get them like 2 beats.
Right.
I ain't making no 10 beats. If I did what they say every month, I probably get paid. I'm just not. I'm like, yo, it wrecks my
Yeah.
brain to keep trying to make a beat. Like, That's for people who want to sit there and make beats. I said, man, I'm doing 7 things. My
Right.
brain tired trying to put this beat together. Now let's get back to Cellar Dweller.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell us something about Cellar Dweller
Mm-hmm.
that you want the fans to know that it was a bad rumor, but you need to correct something. Any you ever had any stories like that? You need to put something straight.
Uh, nah, not really.
Uh-huh.
Not really. Most of our stuff been pretty cut and dry. You know what I mean? Me and my man, we get busy on stage, off stage, lyrically. And, you know what I mean? We still active. We still doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to book us, you can book us. If you want to do features, we do features. If you want
Oh
beats, we
yeah,
do
I might
beats.
have a couple with you, Paula Perry, a few other people. I might have to send you to my boy Fat Cat. They working on Latifah album. I'm gonna have
Mm-hmm.
to inbox them like, yo man, get my boy Fan. You know, I always be telling people, but they in their click thing. That
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're a producer,
exactly.
you don't just need a click. You need to work with people who's dope. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. Exactly.
And
So,
do y'all still take new pictures, or y'all just go out there and let the people out there take pictures? How y'all go about taking updated pictures every year or whatever?
yeah, we really haven't done that part. Like when we at the shows, we let the fans do their thing or whatever. We go backstage, sign
Right.
autographs, and do all of that. But we
Oh,
haven't
that's
really been staying on point with it. So that we need to do better like that too. As far as like probably getting the press kit together
yes.
and stuff like that. Update polio pictures, all of that stuff. So,
Now we got
but
about 10 minutes left.
mhm.
So, I want to get into the meat and potatoes about what do you think hip hop, the real hip hop should do for legends and pioneers, whether it's life insurance or health insurance. Like, give me something you trying to put out there that you think that needs to be done because a lot of y'all don't get the recognition you deserve. You don't get a lot of things you deserve. It should
Mhm.
be a hall of fame with y'all in there. I don't know if you're in there, but I think you should be in there. What you think should happen? Mm-hmm.
With that, I think it should be some type of thing for the pioneers where some of them guys they dedicated their whole life to this, so they don't have medical insurance and stuff like that. So I think if they could create some type of society for that, maybe
Mm-hmm.
that would work. But being that there's no more real like big structural labels, I don't know if that's going to
Mm.
happen.
Right. There's no more
I don't
big
know if
stuff.
that's going to happen. Right. I don't know if one person is going to put that much into it. So
That's
we might
deep.
we might be past our time for that. But
Well, that's deep
I would
because
like to see something like that happen though, because some of them have dedicated their whole life to this, and like me and you, we always kept 9 to 5s, even though we was in the music business. But a lot of them haven't. They just dedicated their whole life to this music thing, and now getting in their 50s and 60s, you ain't really got nothing to show for it because you didn't make that kind of money. So
damn, that's
it's
profound
rough.
because we
It's rough.
we just lost another pioneer from the Funky Four plus one more, Keith
Yeah.
Keith.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to show you, you don't know when's your time to go. And I hope he
Yeah.
had a beautiful life, but he made a big contribution to hip hop.
Yeah. We just
I
lost
used to,
Sparky D too. Sparky D
yes,
just
Sparky
passed.
D from Queens,
Yeah. Yeah. So
JDL from the Bronx. I met
yeah,
him
a lot of
1982.
pioneers. A lot of pioneers is going to be passing. So
But the whole moral, you leaving your legacy, how? Because they have the hip hop museum in the Bronx.
hmm
Are you in it? Do they have one in Brook?
now
Do you
we
have it?
as an underground group, we won't make it into stuff like that.
Why not?
That's only going because we was too underground. That's only going to be for the big wigs, like the Run
Are you
DMCs,
serious?
The LL Cool J's. Yeah, I mean, if somebody does like a smaller version of it to where certain groups could go in, but
Nah,
we
we
wouldn't
gotta
get
change
to
that.
nothing like that.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we
We
won't
gonna
get
have
to
to
nothing.
change that. I know the people's involved. I'm gonna call Lucky Bleen and all of them. I'm gonna ask them. I'm saying because Coco Rocker's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Geechee Dan with the tapes and all of them. I
Mm-hmm.
I see the Cold Crush brothers in there. I'm like, nah. I'm gonna have to have a talk with them and see like where's my cellar
Right.
dwellers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if it's hip hop, then it's cellar dwellers. You know what I
Right,
mean?
definitely. But there's certain there's
Uh,
certain there's certain stigmas that'll be put there for certain things. I don't think they'll go past. Like
well,
certain groups will make it in. But we
Champagne gonna say something because
yeah, but we
I
still
know
here
all of
representing the
them.
real. So
Yeah, all of them my peoples. So I'm
mm-hmm.
gonna put it out there because it's like you know, I was born in New Jersey, and my boy showed me how this guy put up a mural in Jersey. You know, not where everybody hung up, but it was like near the tunnel to go to Lincoln Tunnel to Manhattan.
Right.
It was all the New York cats, and they had two Jersey cats. Joe Buttons. I said Joe Buttons from New York. He was raised in Jersey. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
have him, but they don't really like him because you know he don't get back. Now let me ask you, why do you have New York cats in Jersey on the mural? Can I come to New
Right.
York and see Jersey MCs on the mural on the wall? No.
Right. Nah, it's
I
not
said
gonna
stop
happen. No.
disrespecting Jersey.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
gotta
just
put up.
before
You gotta put up the homegrown. Yeah.
you got so many of
It's
them,
too
and
many. It's too many. Too many of
this
them.
what you do?
Yeah.
They need to
That,
be. That's what shows like this going to bring attention. I
mm-hmm.
love your work; is magnificent,
Mm-hmm.
but don't disrespect another person's hometown when it comes to hip
Yeah,
hop.
you
You
can't. Right.
got plenty
Exactly.
of places to do it, and his work is crazy. It looked just like
Mm-hmm.
them. I said, but they don't belong in Jersey.
Right.
Jersey belong in
Right.
Jersey. That's like
Exactly.
putting people from the Bronx in Connecticut. They don't belong
Yeah.
in Connecticut.
Nah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not supposed
But
to. Speaking
uh
of Jersey, shout out my man Rand Reed and shout out
huh.
Ransom. That's another
Yeah,
dope MC.
yeah, Rance. Hey, listen, we got about
Dope
4 minutes.
MC.
Matter of fact, give me all your shout outs right now before we do our last message.
I just want to big up. I want to big up my partner UG. You know what it is. We about to do our thing again. So, and everybody out there who follow the real hip hop, man, salute y'all, man. Keep it alive. Keep it going. If you like an
Yeah.
artist and you respect him, go buy his music. Go buy a T-shirt. Support him. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way he's gonna be able to keep it going. And then if he don't eat, he gonna have to follow the trend and do fake music that you don't like, and then you still gonna scrutinize him anyway. So
He
when
said
he
he gonna
do
follow the
something that
trend
you
and do
like,
fake music.
support it. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. Just support the real.
All right, before we go, could I get one verse for you and take us out on your bars? I know you got some bars for Miss Champagne Evolution Podcast. You can see us Thursday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. with my little commentary. But as far as interviews, you can see us any time of the week. Just look out for the flyers that I post. Later today at 4 o'clock, we have Miss Demeter Northern. She'll be on. So come back and check us out at 4 o'clock. And then next Wednesday, we got my man Sad G from Ultramatic Medic
G
MCs.
Ultramagnetics MCs. Yes,
Medic,
sir.
medic.
That's
So
gonna
this
be
is
dope. That's gonna be
that's
dope.
good.
Said definitely
Well,
got some stories. He
but
definitely
but
got
but,
some
but this
stories.
one was dope too.
Yes,
This was
sir.
dope too.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes, ma'am. But we got this. This was profound. We go back
Yeah.
like car seats. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying?
Oh
We
yeah.
go
And we
back
gonna
what
do it
like
again too.
Cadillacs into.
Soon as we get updated, I'm gonna get some new situations
Okay.
happening. I'm gonna reach back out and we gonna make something else happen too.
All right. So this is the time where New York was down waiting for to get on the radio show. A real MC got in a cipher, and I said, "Give me 16. Give me
Mm.
16."
Let me
Acapella.
see them.
Ready?
Let me see them. Let me
Phantasm, the
see.
tall one, y'all. Cellar
Yeah,
dwellers up
yeah,
in Miss Champagne Evolution Podcast. He gonna take us out with a 16, and I'm gonna give you my
yeah.
last shout out, and we
I'm gonna do it
check it
like
out
this.
today.
The tall man, I mesmerize minds and leave you in animated suspension, beyond the normal comprehension. In realm 3, the third dimension, the reincarnation. As I rise like a standing ovation, the lab, the cellar. Hypnotics, the nation, one God, individual with liberty. Very few is as sick as me lyrically. I construct and create. And if I concentrate, can sometimes elevate and levitate to heights. For the brain is confusion. When I'm snoozing, see images, illusions. I view the planet Earth for what it's worth and see why I was placed here for birth and not in my holy temple. Too much adventure for children's mental. It's simple. It's sort of like the story of Superman, our world destroyed. So now we're here on this land with no superhuman powers, only my sixth sense and visions after hours. I see psychics and gypsies I can afford and swamis for predictions on the Ouija board, the triangular magic game. So I can get insight on my planet and real name. Live in Flatbush with my Auntie M, like Peter Parker. I keep my secrets from the rest of them. I have food, shelter, and my girl, but I still fantasize about the third world.
That's
Phantasm, the tall
Phantasm
man,
from that
cellar dweller. I
legendary
know what.
Cellar Dwellers crew, and you checking out the Evolution Podcast with Miss Champagne, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Salute.
Hey yo, this the tall man Phantasm from that legendary Cellar Dwellers crew, and you checking out the
Yeah.
Evolution Podcast with Ms.Champagne, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Thank you.
Hey yo, this
That
the
was my
tall man
man
Phantasm from
Phantasm.
that legendary Cellar Dwellers crew, and you checking out the Evolution Podcast with Ms.Champagne, live.
Woo! I enjoyed that. Y'all don't know how good I felt. We got about 60 seconds and we off. But don't forget, today, Saturday, at 4 o'clock, we have Demeter Northern. That soul singer's coming up in here. We're going to have another ball. And don't forget this Wednesday, we have my man Sad G from Automatic MCs. You know what I'm saying? And don't you forget that. Y'all come on here and y'all have fun with your girl. Holla at your girl because your girl going to have everybody up here. We're going to just be bringing it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be bringing it. Why? Because you're going to know the truth about hip hop and pioneers and legends. So all these groups out here doing your thing, do them. Nobody's mad. Nobody's hating. But you need to know where it comes from. You need to know who's the pioneers and legend. You can't step over pioneers and legend, okay? Peace. Till next time, 4 o'clock today. Tune in.